Candy Day. Some call it Halloween, whatever you want to call it. Welcome in on a Thursday morning, October the 31st. If it wasn't for Halloween, we'd be like, wow, can you believe we're heading into November? Oh, that went by quickly.
Yeah, I had something that I had to do for another occupation, and it was like, it's due November 1st. I was like, oh, yeah, plenty of time. Not really.
No. I think that's just another part of this program I'm learning is you and I together, we're aging, and we're learning about the aging process together. Like, we're like, wow, we physically hurt different than we did 10 years ago. Time flies faster. We have kids, and we learn more about it. But, yeah, here we are, ready to turn the calendar into November, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then guess what? We'll start all over in January. But we will wrap up the final day. We have I think we've done what older people do when you say, let's dress up, but we're not going to Halloween Spirit or whatever, Halloween Dollar, whatever the stores are, and spending actual money on costumes.
This is the spirit, and I'm glad everybody in the family got it right today. We don't need to go out and purchase a costume. You got to be resourceful, find things, use your creativity to get over the bar. All you got to do is just clear the bar. That's it. And I believe everybody has done that. So kudos to everybody for just clearing the bar.
That's what we have done. We'll go around the room. I'm undecided on what exactly I am. Preston brought up another thing of what I could be today as he looks at my Miami football jersey and realizes it's a medium. And honestly, it could be a dress. Like, it's long. And I had this. This is a old Miami. I've had this since the 90s. And this is probably about it looks brand new, doesn't it?
It does. It looks pristine. You could probably get a nice little chunk of coin for that.
Because I have worn this, because it is so large, I have worn this all of about 10 times in my life.
I was going to say you could be inflation, because this is what a medium used to look like in our country. And now a medium does not look like this anymore. Yeah, shrinkflation.
Medium Nike jersey. So I was going with obnoxious college football fan with the uniform. I've got a bright orange Titleist hat on. That's what I was going for. Obnoxious, but now inflation, yes, because you can. This jersey is huge. Like, it is for a medium Nike
Kids, let me
jersey.
tell you what a medium used to look like.
If you sent your kid to school wearing this today, a middle schooler, it would go down to their knees.
They might be tripping.
I mean, I say that it's down to my knees. So, and I'm probably average height for a middle schooler. So, where are you going with?
If you cannot figure it out, I am. Anybody got it? Can anybody guess?
Thick 6?
I am thick 6. That's correct. And I do have a prop.
and the oxygen mask, huh? Okay. It's good work.
Thick 6. That is who I am today.
And since it's radio, what Preston has is a number 6, a well-drawn number 6, semi-stapled to his shirt. So he is thick 6 today, and
I'm so out of breath.
it's an oxygen mask to breathe into. So he is. I was trying to read that. What exactly does that say? Flow vent.
Yeah.
He is thick 6. Jen has a golf club, which is concerning to me. Because for multiple reasons, Jen, that is concerning me. All right, Jen, explain your costume.
I will be coming in shortly with my costume. There's a little bit of music involved.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Let me get things set up here, and then I'll be on.
Nice.
I'll be in.
Okay. 6 o'clock hour, we can say stuff like that. Music involved, golf clubs, you got it. All right. Welcome in this morning. I hope everybody's up and doing great. World Series comes to a conclusion last night. Preston's Dodgers, 7-6 last night. They are your World Series champions. Preston, how many innings did you watch last night?
Ooh, if you put the over-under at 1, what do you think you would
Under.
get? Yeah. They played this thing in rapid, didn't they? They started it and went through it very quickly.
They did. I think there was only one day off.
And I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that.
It started last Friday.
It just was fast. I think I was kind of thinking. It really snuck up on me last night, honestly. I think I was thinking, you know how the NBA likes to spread it out
Draw
over
it
2
out,
weeks?
yeah.
And I like it going rapid back to back, but I didn't know it. I totally forgot that it was on last night.
Yankees just blow it. There's no other word to describe it. 3 in the first. They get the crowd behind them. Tack on 1 in the second. Add a third in the third, or add a fifth in the third. They're up 5-0. Look like they're going to cruise. I mean, they looked like they were going to cruise. I was already kind of doing what you were just doing. I was thinking, all right, Thursday off, play again Friday night. What do I want to cook on Friday night? Okay. Nope. 5 runs from the Dodgers. The Yankees absolutely implode in the 5th. They do score a run in the 6th to kind of re-get the momentum, but the Dodgers put on 2 in the 8th. Really a great game from about the 5th on, depending on how you want to look at it. Dodgers are the World Series champs, and I don't know kind of what to make of it because of how much money they spent. It doesn't feel like the feel-good story. It feels like the correct story or something of that nature.
This is the whole thing I guess I was been trying to get at all year is that the Dodgers have all the ingredients of a team you should hate.
Right.
Except for the fact that the 3 biggest stars are generally known as well-likable dudes, right? Freddie Freeman, MVP. Congratulations to him, I guess, if you want to consider him a traitor, but that's another question. Mookie Betts, universally known as one of the good guys.
Yep.
Shohei Ohtani, known as a good guy. And so you really want, because they're the evil empire. They're basically they spent all the money. They have all the great players. They have the tradition, the bandwagon fans like me, all of this stuff that you have, but it just doesn't, because they're all known as good guys. There's nothing to really hate on.
They're vanilla. They're not very. I'm not picking on them, but Shohei Ohtani, I'm pretty sure doesn't speak English at all. So no, you don't even. He doesn't speak.
Well, he doesn't speak. He's not comfortable speaking English. In general, I'm sure he might mess around in the clubhouse or whatever, but he doesn't speak English. Mookie Betts made the most Mookie Betts played last night. I saw from the highlights. He legs out a ground ball.
Yeah,
like. That's who these guys are, and that's awesome, but that's not something that is going to get people tuning in.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's a very, not odd franchise, but you're just like, yeah, okay, you guys won.
Okay, let me say this then. Credit to them for signing those type of guys and being able to have all of these really high-powered MVP catalog type players in a locker room that's fully functioning. Everything seems, there's no scandals coming out of it.
Right, so there you go.
It's all good.
Yeah,
but you're right. The correct story.
It just feels like that's the way it's supposed to be, and you're right, because the Braves fans really do not like the Mets and the Phillies. East Coast bias there, and it's kind of like you should dislike the Dodgers.
You really should.
They're the problem. They're the issue with your trying to win a World Series when you're healthy.
I believe they're in contracts. They're in their conversation about they want to sign Juan Soto.
Yeah. They're really just building an all-star team.
They just buy everybody, but you kind of like
Dave Roberts is an unassuming manager. You're just like, oh, okay, all right, got it. But they get the job done, and they do it on a night, by the way, and I thought this was fitting, where Aaron Judge actually plays like Aaron Judge is supposed to play.
Interesting.
Like Aaron Judge last night, 2 of 3 from the plate, led the game off with didn't lead the game off, but led the scoring off with a home run, a 2-run bomb that got things going. Your boy Jazz Chisholm Jr. followed that up with a home run. But Aaron Judge last night did everything that Aaron Judge is supposed to do, and you're like, nah, not good enough.
Interestingly enough, because Aaron Judge was so bad, he kind of gave Ohtani a little bit of a pass because he wasn't great during the series.
Ohtani and he got injured, and I think, and then Freddie Freeman was just balling out of control last night. Even last night, he scored. He didn't score. He had a 2-run single there in the 5th, part of the Dodgers rally. So World Series comes to a conclusion. The Dodgers are your World Series champions, and not only that, but guess who's picked to win the World Series next year?
You think?
Yeah.
Highest payroll in baseball. It's a pretty good chance that
Dodgers expected to defend. They're plus 400 if you want to go ahead and drop that on there. Braves, by the way, the third. How do I want to label it? The Dodgers are the top favorite. Yankees are second. Braves third. Yankees plus 700. Braves plus 750. So Vegas at least expecting the Braves to bounce back. next year. 803-404-6100. So that is your College World Series recap. Let's get out to the phone lines there. Gamecock Larry, have not heard from him lately. How you feeling this morning, young man?
Well, I feel pretty good. I didn't get to listen to the radio much the last couple of weeks, but I think I'm kind of straightened out now. But I don't know how the Angels or anything are, but I'm going to make two predictions, Gamecocks and Clemson. Well, I'm going to predict the Gamecocks are going to play a good game, but I'm going to say Texas A&M 17, Gamecocks 24. 24-17 Gamecocks. Clemson, I'm going to quit predicting Clemson. The schedule they play, I'm going to quit predicting them because they ought to win every game, and I ain't going to predict them to win no game. But let me say something about my motocross and dragster team. They went up to Union, I think, last Saturday night, and they got rained out. But they don't mind it. They're getting ready for this weekend. I think they're going up somewhere in North Carolina, but they're going to be all right. And Root Hogg, you ain't called me lately. You ain't got the gumption to call on Gamecock, Larry. You harassed him when he was feeling bad, but now when I feel good, you ain't got the gumption to call me, Root Hogg. Call me, Root Hogg. And I love all y'all. Have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you later. And on Monday, I will call in, and if I feel like I feel now, I'll be howling a hog. Go Gamecocks. Did I say 27? What did I say? I don't forgot already. Go Gamecocks. Love all y'all. Talk to 24-17. And it might be worse just according to how our injury report is. It might be about 37-17, something like that. Go Gamecocks. Love all y'all. Talk.
Just covering all the numbers. When do you think we stopped using gumption?
This is right up my alley.
Time to bring it back.
This is right up my alley. That's a good question. It's a great question.
Southerners adapted the phrase wholeheartedly from its early usages in the 1700s, England and Scotland, where it meant common sense. In 1900s, the word evolved, taking up a Southern spin as well as a new meaning such as courage or get up and go.
This is good. This is right. I didn't expect that. That's right. It's right up my alley. I like this.
When your get up and go has got up and went, what do you hanker for?
Hanker?
It's an old thing from Schoolhouse Rock. You hanker for a hunk of cheese.
Nice. Dude, this is sponsored by one of my favorite topics. Names that have gone out of style. I feel like Fred still uses gumption. Yeah. Fred and Wendell still use gumption.
Gumption, gumption, hankering. Yeah. 803-404-6100. What other words do you hear out there that you're like, think we've lost use of that one? Interesting to hear. 803-404-6100. You're listening to the Thursday morning edition of the Early Game.
The Game Network in Columbia. 107.5 The Game. In Florence. 100.5 The Game. In Myrtle Beach. 100.3 The Game.
Hey, this is Terry Ford, 107.5 The Game. We just want to invite you to a real special event coming up at the Dillon Columbia Supply Company. It's their fall open house, November 7th, noon to 2 p.m. It's your chance to meet their incredible team, check out their products and services, and get exclusive event day specials. Whether you're in the industrial, construction, steel, or safety business, they've got the tools and supplies you need. Again, Thursday, November 7th, noon to 2 at Dillon Columbia Supply Company, 320 Orchard Drive, West Columbia.
107.5 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. Take up to $20,000 off new Silverados. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. Together, let's drive.
Preston here for our friends at Absolute Glass, the premier glass company of the Midlands, offering auto, home, and business glass repair. So if your glass is damaged, shattered, cracked, or broken, they can handle the job. If it's a cracked windshield, that's no problem. They'll come out to your location and replace it for you, usually for free, and they work directly with your insurance company to take away the headache. That's right. They will come out to wherever you are. School, home, work, it doesn't matter. Absolute Glass will come out and take care of it for you. Now, if you're at home and you're looking to increase the value of your home, you can do that with new windows or mirrors. And Absolute Glass will take care of that for you, too. Windows, mirrors, shower enclosures. Say it all the time. If you can see through it, Ray and Marianne at Absolute Glass can do it. So check them out online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com. That's online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union wants to reward you for saving more of your hard-earned money, and they can't think of a better way to do it than with more cash. When you participate in Palmetto Citizens Save to Win program, every time you make a savings deposit of just $25, you'll be entered into a monthly and quarterly prize drawing for a chance to win up to $5,000. All the money that piles up in your Save to Win account is yours to keep, along with the interest you earned, so there's never been a better time to get the ball rolling on your savings plan. With a Save to Win account, there's nothing to lose and everything to win. Open your 12-month Save to Win term certificate account and start saving today by visiting any of Palmetto Citizens' 14 branches across the Midlands, or go to palmettocitizens.org to learn more. Palmetto Citizens, proudly serving the Midlands since 1936. Account may be subject to penalty for early withdrawal. This credit union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Get ready to smile because Herndon Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer, is offering an amazing deal right now. Get up to $20,000 off new Silverados. Yes, you heard that right. Up to $20,000 off. Don't wait. Head over to HerndonChevy.com today and drive home in the truck of your dreams. Chevy, together let's drive.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
Call 803-510-5447 for complete details.
Firehouse Subs, Hook and Ladder jingle, take one.
Hook and ladder, when it's hot, it just tastes better. Warm that smoky turkey, that thin slice.
Guys, this is a 30-second ad. You gotta sing faster.
Hook and ladder, when it's hot, it just tastes better. Melty cheese and toast spread, mustard, mayo, purple spread, lettuce, green, and onion. The sandwich is too big for the song. It's too big.
The Hook and Ladder, available only at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants.
Life matters. There were lots of things a young teen should be doing in his spare time besides reading. He owed it to himself to have some fun, maybe get involved with sports. The problem with Harry was that he wore thick glasses and had poor eye-hand coordination. His only option was to read. In fact, by the time he finished high school, Harry had read every single book in the local library and the history books more than once. Folks thought it was a waste, but when the United States went looking for a man to lead them through the early years of the Cold War, they were glad Harry had spent so much time in the library. President Harry S. Truman owed his success to years of studying history and using the past to chart a course for the future. He used his weakness to develop his strength, and the world is a better place for it. This is Stephen Chitty, pastor of Christian Life. Remember, life matters, and so do you.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
Starting off the morning the right way, no accidents. We don't really see any major slowdowns. Do see a chance for some patchy dense fog out there, so make sure those low beam headlights are on when needed. And we're looking for a high today of 82, 83 tomorrow, and now they're saying 81 for Saturday. Overnight lows around 60, so nice fall-like weather for us. It is 56 currently on the early game.
The early game with Phil Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen. From the Midlands to the PD to the beach. The Game Network.
Eddie weighs in. I'll say yonder until my dying breath. Ford weighs in with words boondoggle, haberdashery, quagmire. And the co-pilot goes with cattywampus.
Yonder.
And Neil says a word that needs to come back, yellow. More appropriately pronounced, yella. As in, Root Hog doesn't have the gumption to call me. He's just yella. There you go. Y'all get the program here bright and early, 6:21 on your Thursday morning as we really get you ready for the weekend. We'll talk some basketball as well later on this morning. Gamecocks 86-60.
We have our entrance.
So now, you can't see it because it's radio, obviously. We do a radio program. You can go to our YouTube page where...
What do you think? It's close.
It's solid. And again, fits the criteria of, let me find stuff that I have. That's correct.
So to describe this, Jen is wearing a South Carolina shirt. She got a Carolina shirt on, but she is impersonating the SEC Shorts Vanderbilt person. So that at least the walking stick, at least the golf club now makes sense. I was I almost turned right around when I walked in. Very good. She has a speaker playing the music that the Vanderbilt SEC Shorts character does, so that all makes sense. Now, I am curious to know though where that is it what do we call that? A robe? What is
cape?
Cape.
Cape. Looks like a James Brown cape.
Yeah.
Just throw it over. I like it.
Okay. All right, there you go. Yeah, I'll put that on Twitter. Jen is the version of the South Carolina SEC or the Vanderbilt SEC Shorts character there with what he is. Preston is a thick 6. He has got a 6 stapled to his chest with an oxygen mask.
I'm so tired.
And I had a Miami jersey, so I'm an obnoxious college football fan.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. We have, as you said, we have met the criteria this morning.
Just get over the bar. That's all you have to do for Halloween. Just get over the bar. Use your mind, use your creativity, use resourceful, and you can do it.
Literally was sitting there yesterday like, do I really want to go to – I don't even know how much costumes cost at Halloween Spirit or at whatever it may be, whatever the Halloween stores are. I don't know what they cost.
I was looking at your jersey, and they were verifying what it is.
Miami Hurricanes, and it's technically, I believe, a Ray Lewis jersey, I think it's 52.
I believe, but also, again, the thing that's tripping me out the most is sized medium, and there's no way.
The Nike sized medium jersey, yeah. It's a I got this in like 6th grade maybe, and it is massive. So, yeah, We've done our Halloween jobs of dressing up and doing it appropriately. Thick 6 was very. When did you settle on thick 6?
I was going back and forth. I was going to do a version of. I was going to come in as Lamont Sellers, and I was going to do a goggles and a quarter zip, but. Then I settled on thick 6. After the thick 6, I was like, I could do that one.
Very good.
I could do that one. So
very nice.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Preston is thick 6. Jen is the SEC Shorts Vanderbilt character, just South Carolina character instead.
Because I'm hoping someday maybe we can be the ones who are strutting in.
Makes sense.
Well, you can bring that back hopefully in 2 weeks. Not this Monday, but the following. Although you beat a top 10 Texas A&M team. It works.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works. Speaking of beating a top 10 Texas A&M team, as we like to do each and every Thursday, let's hear Clayton White a little bit. This is always fun. Clayton White, this is his opening statement from yesterday. What did old Coach White have to say?
Hope you guys are doing great. Nice seeing you guys again. It's been a couple weeks. Obviously, last week was our relentless pursuit to improvement, trying to get better every single opportunity we can. So our guys were locked in last week, had a couple workout days and a couple practice days, but it's great to have them back this week, getting ready for our opponent. Obviously, the clock started really fast on Saturday night after the game was over with between LSU and A&M when we got to work and ready to go.
I feel like he gets the program. I feel like he's trying to up his game. He knows that we're doing this and that he's trying to up his game a little bit each and every week.
I like it. The relentless pursuit. I like it. I like
it. Clayton White actually did talk about some legitimate stuff instead of us just joking with him about his opening statement. He talked about playing different style quarterbacks. Connor Weigman, Marcel Reed. Here is what he had to say yesterday in terms of preparing for different style quarterbacks.
Good one. Obviously, it definitely helps for sure. It's not your first time going against a mobile quarterback, so some of your things, some of your tools that you put in your toolbox for those kind of quarterbacks is already in there. They've already been, used. They're not tools that you have to kind of, open the pack and then they're rusty and all that kind of stuff. So that's always good to have those things already oiled up and ready to go. We call it bank reps, so they're sitting in the bank. We've been using it, and we just got to keep using them. And then it's definitely, you have to make sure that you're practicing it well and your quarterback's giving you a good look, and because it can surprise you on the game day if you don't work it and you don't go against it. Like I said, it really helps that we have Lenoris and Robbie, so when we go good on good against our offense, we're getting those same exact feel that we would get on a Saturday against a mobile quarterback.
What do you take away from?
Yeah, that makes total sense. There's not going to be a change-up for them when they see Marcel Reed, I'm assuming he's starting, but if he started, indeed the starter, I don't think he's not a better athlete than Lenoris and maybe even Robbie also. So they see this on a regular basis. And then the Connor Weigman is just traditional passing game. So for our particular, we're not going to get caught off guard like I look like LSU did during their game. I feel they'll be well prepared for whoever plays quarterback.
If you watch that LSU A&M game, one thing you noticed is how LSU was able to get after Connor Weigman in that game. He was only 6 of 18. He was not having. As I'm watching that game again, the evolution of that game is kind of crazy. You're like, wow, I honestly think South Carolina's got a great chance against Texas A&M. They're really struggling. The offensive line couldn't block LSU's pass rush. Weigman was really struggling. It was very similar to some of the things we've seen from the South Carolina defense, first quarterbacks already through the year.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do. Obviously, what we do really well is pass rush. I was looking at some statistics. We rush the passer, whether that's either getting pressure on the passer or actually getting sacks, better than anybody in the country according to this specific metric that I was looking at. So if Connor Weigman's back there, that's just going to be an opportunity for our guys to tee off. Where the change might come up is if it's Marcel Reed, you might have to adjust the rush lanes a little bit.
Well, you still, the thing about Reed is he only threw 2 passes against LSU. Now, one of them was a dime thrown right down the middle of the field, just as the kids like to say, dropped it in the bucket. But he's not exactly a passer. Like, you're more terrified of him breaking the pocket or beating you with a designed draw than you are with him standing back there and throwing it around. And it becomes that old. And maybe you can, I know we don't have much time left, but the mush rush, where you're basically maybe not rushing the quarterback, you're just trying to contain him and say, all right, throw the football somewhere.
Yeah, you don't want to get out of your rushing lanes. You don't want to give them spaces to go or create, but you don't want to take away from what you do. So the key is going to be winning in the early downs, stopping the run game, and putting them in obvious passing situations.
803-404-6100. You've got to exit stage left.
Yeah, I'm on my way to Chesney.
Running, I hope, with the football.
Yes. I knew I had one more prop. Yes, but I'll be going up to Spartanburg today, up to Chesney. So we'll be on the way, and then tomorrow we'll be back for the vibe check tomorrow.
We'll break everything down. We'll hang around. Jen and I will continue our costume party. Preston's going to head up to Chesney. We'll come back. Safe travels, Preston.
Appreciate it.
We'll come back with more from what Dow Loggins and Clayton White had to say. It's the early game.
From the Midlands to the PD to the beach. The Game Network. We all love streaking. I mean, streaming. Until we have to pay for it. But not when you stream the game.
And how much does it cost?
It's free. Just go to iTunes or Google Play and download the 107.5 The Game app. And stream for no charge. And listen for no charge.
All right, listen, y'all, we've been trying to tell you all year, whether it was spring, summer, the fall is here, and matter of fact, it's November. You can still get yourself set up with integrated media. Get it ready in time for Thanksgiving. Want to have a large gathering where folks are outside watching all the football games? You can still do that. Get it ready for the Clemson game. All the time, all your goals are still in front of you, as we like to say. And you can get it set up with the folks from Integrated Media. So whether you like Samsung Terrace TVs, waterproof, or you can get Wi-Fi that works indoors and outdoors, it doesn't matter whether it's home theater setup or adjusting your thermostat or monitoring your security systems from your cell phone, Integrated Media is the company that you need to call. So call Nathan and Michael at 803-948-8327. That's 803-948-8327. Or you can reach them online at integratedmediainc.com. That's online, integratedmediainc.com.
Sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Bothered by back, neck, shoulder, or joint pain? Get back in the game with The Joint Chiropractic. No appointment is necessary and no need to worry about insurance. The new patient special includes a consultation, exam, and chiropractic adjustment for just $29. Walk in today without an appointment. It's affordable and clinics are conveniently located in Forest Acres, Harbison, Killian, and Lexington. Learn more at thejoint.com. At The Joint Chiropractic, you don't have to feel bad to feel better.
Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Hostetler-Brown. If you or a loved one are over 65 and haven't completed a long-term care planning consultation, now is the time. Did you know that if you aren't able to afford the high cost of skilled care, your assets can be rapidly depleted to only $2,000 unless you plan 5 years in advance? Visit lawyerlisa.com to see how we can help.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Pete Wine Pool and Spa is the place for all things swimming pool and hot tub. Need a new vinyl liner? This is the perfect time of year to have your faded or worn out liner replaced. Call or come see us to repair, replace, or upgrade your existing equipment. Want to cover your pool to keep out all those fall leaves? A new safety cover is the answer, and it's safe for the kids and pets. That's Pete Wine Pool and Spa, 5541 Sunset Boulevard. You'll find us on Facebook or online at PeteLWinePools.com.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevy. It's back to cool season with big-time savings on Tahoe Suburbans and the all-new Chevy Traverse. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today. Like the Kubota L-Series compact tractor, the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S., Z-Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, plus save up to $300. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by Pioneer Farm Equipment in Orangeburg, 1 mile off of I-26 exit 154B, or at PioneerFarmSC.com. Making a difference in the lives of children and families brings a feeling of satisfaction that is unmatched. You may be just the person to help them to a brighter tomorrow. Answer the call and learn more about becoming a child welfare case manager at dss.sc.gov. There, you will find qualifications needed and information about salary and benefits available. This message is sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Social Services.
Hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line, 803-404-6100. Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game. Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic
is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia, Wetzel'sAuto.com.
Disabled vehicle where the center lane is currently blocked, I-20 westbound just after Bush River Road, exit 63. So again, that's in the center lane, so just obviously stay to the left or the right, but do be careful out there as you approach that. And I-77 southbound at Killian Road, also a report of an accident. 82, 83 today and tomorrow. Saturday, looking for a high of 81. Those overnight lows of 60. So pretty nice weather overall for the remainder of the week and weekend. It's 56 right now with a little bit of patchy, dense fog on the early game.
what you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet on the Game Network.
6:35 on your Halloween morning. Hope you're up and doing good, getting the kids ready for school, and then going into your Thursday routine. Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen here. Preston Thorne off to Chesney, as he will spend his Halloween up there, getting everybody excited to do some reading and all the fun things that come along with that. And then he'll be back tomorrow here, and we'll really continue to break down South Carolina and Texas A&M. Yesterday, Clayton White speaking, Dow Loggins speaking. And the big story, and we'll talk a lot more about this tomorrow with Preston, will be how does the offense perform? Have there been any changes, modifications, just I use the word upgrades to the offense? Well, yesterday, Dow Loggins talked about the bye-week priorities. Here is what Dow Loggins had to say regarding the bye-week priorities.
Oh, you always go back and you split it between self-scout and getting ready for Texas A&M, and you want to make sure that you've looked at all your tendencies you have, make sure you're playing to all your strengths, go through and try to figure out why good things are happening, why bad things are happening, and then you fix them. You know, the schedule was a little bit different this week. We gave the players, or the last bye week, we dove in on Monday to just football, and the players they had the day off, so we were able to grind through probably more than we were the last bye week. So we're pleased with where we're at this point with the work that we got during that time. I feel like we improved and got better at some areas, and there's definitely improvement that's needed. And I feel good about where we're at right now with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see come Saturday night. This offense, obviously, number one of the worst in the country at allowing sacks. That is a major issue that has got to be cleared up basically this weekend. Unfortunately, and I think a lot of y'all will agree, a lot of people would agree, unfortunately, when you talk about that, I don't know if it's fixable at this point in the season. I don't know how you adjust to giving up as many sacks as this team has been. The simple thing could be just as easy as saying, well, make adjustments on the offensive line. I'm not sure. South Carolina is second to dead last in the country. Not the SEC, in the overall country. They are 132nd in sacks allowed. They've given up 32 this year. Oddly enough, the team that is behind them is Oklahoma, who just gave up, of course, 8 sacks to South Carolina 2 weeks ago. But Oklahoma sits at 39 sacks given up. There's only three teams in the country. That have given up 30 sacks. And South Carolina, by the way, Southern Miss being the other one. South Carolina, by the way, isn't just 132nd in sacks given up. They're 132nd in sack yardage given up. 232 yards is how many yards the Gamecocks have lost with sacks given up. That has to be number one. And that has to truthfully be the next step for the offense. I think the offense has some good plays at times, but the sacks have completely derailed what South Carolina has tried to do offensively. And Texas A&M is going to get after South Carolina come Saturday night. They're going to be they are a very good defensive line. They're an athletic bunch. Mike Elko, again, as we know, is known as a defensive coordinator. He's already probably started looking at the South Carolina offensive line and licking his chops at different opportunities to confuse and get to Lenora Sellers. So one of the things that has to be the next step, one of the things, and we'll get to the other one coming up in a second, is the ability to give Lenora Sellers just a little bit of time. And that comes from both getting quicker pass routes and better protection. Yesterday, Dow Loggins talked about the next step for the offense. Here's exactly what he had to say.
Win this game, play well in this game. I understand the question, but in 5 weeks, this is 1 week for us. We're playing a heck of an opponent, a really good defense that's really good at stopping the run. They're really good at creating turnovers. They're really good at rushing the passer. So we're not thinking about past 10 minutes from now and starting to study the red area and making sure we're doing the things to put our offense and our players in position to be successful.
Again, Texas A&M comes in right now. They are averaging 2.5 sacks per game on the season. They have 19 total sacks, 120 yards of sack yardage. The Gamecocks, if you're just wondering, tied for third in the nation with San Diego State at 28 sacks. That is averaging right at 4 a game. For the record, South Carolina, the sack yardage that South Carolina has, number 1 in the country. Sack yardage, 235 yards in sack yardage. Ole Miss is second at 226, and Ole Miss actually second in the country in sacks at 34. Boise State leads the nation with 35 sacks. They have 225 yards of sack yardage, but Texas A&M comes into this game, and they're going to be a group that's going to get after South Carolina's offensive line. They're going to, as you heard, Clayton White, he is correct on that, talking about their ability to stop the run and force turnovers. So it kind of comes down to, all right, what did you do? What have you done to help Lenore Sellers continue to improve? What exactly is it that you did this week, whether it's changing, and I don't know, and this is where Preston would be so good, I don't know if it's changing scheme. You can't change scheme on the fly 7 weeks in after a bye week. What you can hopefully do is maybe rely a little bit more on slants. I would personally like to see a few more screens thrown out there. Now, let's listen here. This is Dow Loggins also yesterday talking about the A&M defense, and it's specifically what he has seen on the defense from Texas A&M. You've heard him kind of mention a little bit there with bye week priorities, as well as the next step for, as well as the next 15. Jen and I are coordinating. We're like
hand signals.
Yeah.
I'm like 6. Wait, 51. What?
Let's play. This is Dow Loggins, Jen, I apologize, number 15, talking about the A&M defense.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's figured it out yet because Texas or LSU's got 2 first-round tackles, and they struggled against this team. It's a really good team. It's really, really talented. You got to make sure that you maximize your strengths and minimize your weaknesses, and make sure that you got everyone has a plan to handle the details of the assignments. And you got to, the bye week you do a little bit in Texas A&M, but not a ton, because you're really working against your own defense, and it's more good on good than it is when you practice. You're not ahead that way, but when you dive into the plan, making sure that you're doing the things that your guys do well and the things that you struggle with that you're trying to take out, because this is a good team that can attack, and they're going to cause stress like they have for the last 8 weeks in this league.
One thing about that he says that I find slightly interesting, they are going to attack. There's no doubt about that. You've got to take advantage of them attacking and hit a big play or two. I don't know if it's a Lenore Sellers run, if it's a Rocket Sanders run, or something brand new, a deep ball down the field. But when Texas A&M is going to pin their ears back and really come after you and put your wide receivers in one-on-one situations or create space down the field, you have to take advantage of that. And that's going to be a very, very important thing on Saturday night, trying to hit 2 or 3 big plays just to loosen Texas A&M up, to not allow them to just pin their ears back and come after your run game or come after your quarterback in passing situations. And, again, that's something we'll continue to see. 803-404-6100. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 1. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. It is the early game.
107.5 The Game. In Columbia. 100.5 The Game. In Florence. 100.3 The Game. In Myrtle Beach. The Game Network.
It's back! The Lawyer Lisa Special Teams Contest. Just go to 1075thegame.com and register. The pot starts at $100. Every week it increases $100 if Carolina doesn't score a special teams touchdown. But if the Gamecocks do score a special teams touchdown, you could win the pool. Again, just go to 1075thegame.com and register. It's the Lawyer Lisa Special Teams Contest from 1075 The Game.
This is Boomer Esiason with Sportsman Ed, sponsored by Wrangler. It's Wrangler season out, open roads, endless horizon. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles. Congratulations to the LA Dodgers, who rallied from a 5-0 deficit in Game 5 to win the World Series in 5 games. Series MVP Freddie Freeman was amazing. He secured his place in Cooperstown with 4 homers, 12 RBIs, and his 2nd ring. As for the Yankees, that's a whole nother story. I'm Boomer Esiason.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. I put on my jeans and I feel alright. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices.
That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
Alan Kennington, responsible for this ad. Office in 1440 Broad River Road, Columbia, South Carolina.
You're hurt. With over 85,000 cases resolved, 12 offices across the state, and over $1 billion recovered in just the past 10 years, you need South Carolina's largest injury law firm on your side. You need George Sink now. George Sink knows South Carolina, and George Sink lawyers will help you every step of the way on your recovery.
Get George Sink Law Firm on the line. Call 999-9999.
Do you have sagging, soft, or bouncy floors in your home? Well, this could be a sign of rotten wood caused by moisture in your crawl space. Damaged wood in your crawl space can affect your home's foundation, and that can affect your home's value, and nobody wants that. Say goodbye to sagging floors and hello to a stable foundation. Contact Canty today for your free inspection at 803-424-8380 or visit cantycanfixit.com.
It's your broker, Benji Getzy. 6 straight weeks of declining rates. Now is the time. V8 30-year fixed, 4.8%, APR 5.2. 30-year conventional, 5.5%, APR 5.8. Second home investors, 6.4%. DSCR and fix and flip financing, 6.9%, APR 7.3. So visit Buford.mortgage for the fastest rate quotes in the industry, available 24/7. Thanks for shopping your rate with Buford Lending. We want to be your broker.
Are you a Gamecock fan that's looking for flexibility to attend the games you want without committing to season tickets? If so, the Gamecock Go Pass is for you. For only $20 a month, your Gamecock Go Pass subscription provides you with access to all non-conference football games, most men's and women's basketball and baseball games, and all softball, soccer, and volleyball games. Plus, you have the ability to add on tickets for conference football games and premier basketball and baseball games for an additional cost. To learn more and sign up today, visit thegamecockclub.com/go.
Game with Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Shen Jensen on the Game Network. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 100.5 The Game in Florence. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach.
Reminder tonight, Carolina Calls with Shane Beamer and Todd Ellis. You can hear it right here. 107.5 The Game in Columbia, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. So Carolina Calls. Final time we'll hear from Shane Beamer tonight. Final injury report. DeAndre Jules expected to be the only guy of significance on the injury report. Jared Brown expected back. Also, coming up on Saturday, right here, 2:30 on The Game in Columbia. We'll be getting you ready for South Carolina and Texas A&M. It's Gamecocks Game Day, sponsored by Lexington Med Ortho. It'll be from the party lot at Sound and Images, Terry Ford and Tyler Head. Kickoff, of course, 7:30 right here on The Game. 107.5 The Game here in Columbia and 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. But we will start our pregame show on Saturday as you're heading to the ballpark, 2:30. Right here on 107.5 The Game. And again, if you want to swing by and hang out, you can go check out Tyler Head and Terry Ford over at the party lot at Sound and Images.
Just make them a team now.
Make them a team. Yeah, it's just may as well do that at this point. So, go plan accordingly for that as you're coming in to Williams-Brice Stadium. Dustin asked this morning, do you guys have any idea when the non-conference schedule for baseball comes out? Jamie Bradford addressed that a little bit. I asked him that on Monday. He said, really, it should be almost any time. So, no, we don't have a date. We don't know, but it should be, according to Jamie Bradford, just about any day now we should get that schedule released. I feel like when we do something like this, it only pops out late in the afternoon when we bring that up. So keep an eye out, though. It should be, again, just about any day now when they will release that. 803-404-6100. Last night, South Carolina takes down Worcester 86-60. We'll talk more about this coming up in hour number 2 and get into some basketball. But, again, last night, South Carolina gets off to a bit of a slow start there. And we'll, again, listen to some Lamont Paris audio and talk more about this. But Colin Murray-Boyles leads the way last night. 19 points, 11 rebounds, grabbed 5 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds. Shot 2 3-pointers. That's an element of his game that has been discussed a little bit in terms of expanding. I don't want to say becoming more B.J. Mack-esque. That would probably be unfair to what they want Colin Murray-Boyles to do. But you do want to expand that game out a little bit and make people guard him on the perimeter. And I don't know if I'm ready to say we'll get into the whole box score. Cam Scott had 16 last night. Great debut for him. Arden Conyers had 16 points in just about 18 minutes. Great debut from him. I'll tell you more about how they shot the three-pointer later on. But back to Colin Murray-Boyles, I think this team will go as he goes. I think that's what I think this is I like this basketball team. I like the makeup of this basketball team. I like the athleticism. There's a lot of things I like. And when you look at this team and you start to kind of drill down and say, okay, all right, who is that guy? Who is going to be the guy that we look to each and every night? Is there going to be a guy that we look to each and every night, or is it a committee type approach where one night it's Murray-Boyles, one night it's Cam Scott, one night maybe it's Miles Studi, maybe one night it's Zach Davis. But I think it's Colin Murray-Boyles. And last night, 9 of 13 from the field. Again, I grabbed the 11 rebounds, did have 3 turnovers. But the 2 3-pointers I thought was interesting because it shows a continued effort to expand his game. Murray-Boyles can put the ball on the floor and beat people off the dribble. He's a little bit more of a straight line dribbler. He's not going to cross you up, go behind his back, go between the legs, and make a move on you. But he does have that athleticism that makes it difficult for other fours, usually fours, post players, to come out and guard. And if he can step out and on some kind of consistent basis, talking like 30% here, 32%, somewhere in that small little margin, if he can continuously knock down the 3, you talk about what that really does to enhance his game. Obviously, we've seen him on a lot of preseason lists. I've seen him on a few NBA draft boards. That is going to be something he has to do to continue to develop his game, but also for it to develop for South Carolina and for it to really kind of change the offense, if you will, fit into the scheme that Lamont Paris wants to work on. But Colin Murray-Boyles again last night, 9 of 13 from the field, so does a really good job there. 19 points, 11 rebounds. I mentioned those 2 3-pointers, was 1 of 2 from the foul line. Cam Scott, the debut last night, 16 points. And, boy, did he fill the stat sheet. This is what you love to see. A lot of good, a few bad. Cam Scott, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 fouls, 4 turnovers, and 3 assists. You look across his line, no blocks and no steals for Cam Scott, but he put numbers up in almost every category last night. Very active, 3 of 8 from three-point range. He was 5 of 12 overall for the game. Played 22 minutes and 43 seconds, so just about 23 minutes last night. Hit 3 of 4 from the foul line. Very excited to continue to see his development. I really like how the schedule sets up over the next few weeks. That I think there's 2 goals for him. I think you allow him to get his minutes, and follow me on this because I'm going to kind of contradict myself a little bit. You allow him to get his minutes to develop, but at the same time you limit his minutes. Okay, why limit his minutes? So that when we get to late January, when we get to February, he's not hitting that freshman wall that we've heard so much about. When he's played more basketball at that point than he ever has in his life and played against more athletic and more physical competition. So I think what you want to do, this is my personal opinion, I'm not saying it's the best strategy, I'm saying it would be my strategy, is limit his minutes to maybe 18 to 20 minutes per game so that he's getting proper developmental time, but you're also not wearing him out. They're going to need him late in the season to continue this kind of production, and he is fully capable of giving it. I just don't want to see him hit that freshman wall that you occasionally see some guys hit because they played excessive minutes. So we'll talk more basketball. We'll let you hear a little bit more from Lamont Paris, and we'll talk some more football. Gamecocks and A&M on Saturday night. You're listening to the early game.
1075 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Take up to $20K off new Silverados.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. Together, let's drive.
Sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
AAA Heating and Air is on the hunt to find the oldest AC unit in our Midland service area. Do you think it could be yours? If you do, it could pay off. AAA Heating and Air and My Oldest AC contest is kicking off, and you have a chance to win a new HVAC system for your home. Just head over to their website, myoldAir.com, and complete the online entry form. AAA Heating and Air will draw a winner at random for every 100 entries. It really is that easy. Contest is limited time only. Residents in the AAA Heating and Air service area are eligible to enter. See the terms and rules on their website for a full list of contest rules.
Shepherd's Glass has provided commercial, residential, and auto glass installation, repair, and replacement to Columbia for over 50 years. Large retail storefronts, auto, custom shower enclosures, and mirrors for that remodeling or new construction project. Visit shepherdsglass.com to see and learn more. Now with 2 locations on Platte Springs Road in West Columbia and Chapin at 855 Chapin Road. shepherdsglass.com.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality.
Get ready to smile because Herndon Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer, is offering an amazing deal right now. Get up to $20,000 off new Silverados. Yes, you heard that right. Up to $20,000 off. Don't wait. Head over to HerndonChevy.com today and drive home in the truck of your dreams. Chevy, together let's drive.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
Call 803-510-5447 for complete details.
The Firehouse Captain's Club features their signature Captain Sorensen's hot sauce and their new Firehouse Hero Sauce, along with savory oven-roasted chicken, melted pepper jack cheese, crushed red pepper flakes, crispy smoky bacon, lettuce, tomato, and onions. Be sure to try the Captain's Club today at any one of the 14 Midlands Firehouse locations. Order ahead with the Rapid Rescue to go. But if a sampling platter is more your style, get all of your game day tailgate needs online at firehousesubs.com. Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the gutter man.
Were your gutters damaged or clogged during the recent storms? The Gutterman will not only clear out your gutters, but also ensure that everything is working optimally. Protect your biggest investment. Call the guys in the powder blue trucks, the Guttermen, at 803-791-7147.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the gutter man.
Hurricane season is here, and it's important for residents to ensure that they are protected. Most homeowners and renters insurance policies do not cover flood damage, so it's essential to purchase a separate flood insurance policy to help you recover quickly and protect the life you built.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic
is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
Good news is earlier accidents have been cleared, so things moving along pretty nicely this morning out there on the highways. And also good news, looking for a high today of 82. 83 tomorrow, 81 on Saturday. Overnight lows around 60 for the next few days. Really, this is kind of a consistent forecast. Not looking for any rain really until probably late next week. But right now, it's we do have some patchy dense fog out there. It's 56 on 107.5 The Game.
WNKT FM Eastover, Columbia.
Congrats to the Gamecocks women on another national championship.
A Cumulus media station.
The early game
with Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
There's a handful of people out there, or a footful of people, who have decent-looking feet. And what did Bill say?
Yeah, in college. Thought I had some good-looking feet about then. That was, about 20 years ago.
What happened? How'd you get all mangled?
It's not there like that bad. I mean, I back then, that was the height of My foot beauty.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
The theme of this show. I don't know what happened.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
In the air to left center field. Judge on the run. Dead sprint now to the track, and it's over his head. That's in to score. Freddie Freeman for the plate, and this game has been turned upside down.
That was the call last night. That was the game-tying RBI by the Dodgers, who would rally 5 runs down. The Yankees got off to an incredible start, jumping out 3-0 on the Dodgers, but the Dodgers rally with 5 in the 5th, tie the ball game. The Yankees would have put 1 more up in the 6th, only for the Dodgers to score 2 more in the 8th, and they win 7-6 last night for their 8th World Series title. Can you name the last one? I did not. I don't want to say I could not. I did not remember it. I'll give you just a second to think in your head there. But I did not remember. I don't think anybody remembers the COVID-19 shortened 2020 season. That would be their last title, their last full season title. I was actually kind of amazed to learn this last night. Their last full season title, can you guess? Give you 3, 2, 1. All right, 1988. 1988, and they do it this year, obviously with the late Fernando Valenzuela passing away last week. He would have celebrated his 64th birthday. Today, I believe, is what it says on Friday, so I'm not sure if that was today or if it was last Friday. But Fernando Valenzuela, so kind of a magical season for the Dodgers. So again, last night, everything that they have tried to accomplish, adding all those stars. And Preston, who is off to Chesney to work with the kids, get them excited to read. Preston and I agreed. It's a really interesting makeup of an organization. And Jen, I'll go to you with your Cubs. Your Cubs were lovable. The Cubs were lovable losers when we celebrated their World Series title, about 6 years ago, I think, 2018, if I'm thinking correctly.
It was actually 2016.
Oh, 8 years ago.
Yeah. That's why when people say, oh, the Yankees haven't been in it since 2009. Oh, boo-hoo. I mean, honestly, I may never see another World Series, even us be in the World Series. So
it's very true. It's very true. But you think back. But this Dodgers team, you really feel like you should dislike them. You feel like they should be everything that's wrong with both baseball and with sport, especially baseball, where it doesn't ever seem like there's any kind of salary cap whatsoever. Just add all the players you can add and pay them as much money as you can pay them. When you look at Shohei Ohtani, when you look at Freddie Freeman, when you look at Mookie Betts, you go up and down that roster. And yet, I kind of want to give them credit for being an under-the-radar super team.
I would agree. Yeah.
Kind of an under-the-radar, like I can almost be appreciative of them not causing drama, having chaos and over the top personalities and just everything that I mean,
they just head down doing their business.
Freddie Freeman is one of the most likable players in Major League Baseball. I'm not saying this to be mean or to be funny, but because I think Shohei Ohtani speaks very little English, we know nothing aside from the fact that he or his former interpreter gambles a lot.
Yeah.
We know very, very, very little about Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
He, for being a megastar, which is what he is, we really have next to no information on who Shohei Ohtani is, what he likes. Does he like movies? Does he have a favorite food? What does he do in his spare time? Well, we have zero idea about him. Mookie Betts is a very likable superstar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dave Roberts is actually a fairly likable manager. Again, very vanilla, very plain. It's a super team with superstars without almost super egos, you feel like.
Oh, I think 100% that's the case. It's been, like I said, they've just been sort of doing their thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay. Postseason runs looking pretty good. But, yeah, you don't hear about it really. Any drama. Yeah.
So I think I think you can lie. I don't know. It's a really weird thing because it feels like when teams win, and I go back to the Celtics, Jason Tatum and Jason. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm blanking on Brown's first name, just completely blanking. But you look at the Celtics. They had some personalities. Jason Tatum is a guy that I think some liked, some didn't necessarily like, even though he's kind of I'll call him a manufactured superstar, like doesn't really cause any drama. But again, it was that maybe it was the Celtics. I don't know. It's a weird scenario. 803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in on. I know today is Thursday. I was saying Friday. The ESPN article, by the way, Brian weighs in, but it said Friday in the ESPN article that it was Fernando Valenzuela's birthday, not today. But how do you feel about the Dodgers? Do you even care? And that's also a big question for Major League Baseball. We covered Major League Baseball on this program, Preston and I and Jen, more so this year than we've done it since about the 8 years that I've been on this program with our Chop Talk Thursdays and really covering the Braves. This was the most we've covered, not just the Atlanta Braves, but Major League Baseball as a whole. So maybe I personally was a little bit more invested in it. I think we joked back in April when I had the Major League Baseball Network. And so with all that in mind, maybe I followed it a little bit closer. Maybe I have a little bit more of an affinity for it. Maybe it's an aging thing again of slowing down and watching baseball. But Dodgers get the job done last night. Thank you, Charlie. Jaylen Brown. Good Lord. I can't believe I completely blanked on that. Also last night, South Carolina basketball, as they win 86-60, open up against Worcester College. Now, again, I think it's the College of Worcester, but exhibition game. They'll open their season next Monday against North Florida. But, Jen, I tell you what, let's play this. One of the things that I saw last night via Twitter, I listened just a little bit to Derek Scott and I listened to Derek Scott last night, and one of the things that was kind of prominent was two lethargic starts. This is number 23, Jen. This is Coach Paris after the game on the lethargic starts to both halves.
Yeah, I thought we were lethargic and generally careless in a lot of ways. I haven't watched it over yet, so I don't know this. But I feel as if during that stretch we're turning the ball over, right, against a team that isn't known for their full court pressure or anything like that. But we had some careless turnovers. Our shot selection wasn't great. I think some things had bled into that. That wasn't the first thing to go, but our shot selection wasn't great. So that made us really ineffective offensively, and at the same time they were doing some things, defensively we had some breakdowns too. So we just, in that timeout, we talked about energy. I subbed. I brought some new guys in that timeout, and our energy was better. I mean, point blank. I thought and as you come into the game, whether you're a starter or you're coming off the bench by nature, you have to be inserted in the game with energy. Otherwise, there's no use in subbing. And so I thought that group that we put in brought some real energy. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I think everything else fell into place when we started playing with a lot of energy.
Again, that is Lamont Paris last night, talking about his team, that game in particular. That is one thing going back. He talks about subbing and bringing guys in with energy, figuring out the exact rotation for how you want to bring guys off the bench. Last night, the starters, by the way, Jamari Thomas, Zach Davis, Miles Studi, Nick Pringle, and Colin Murray Boyles. And then came off the bench, Jacoby Wright and Cam Scott led the way off the bench, 22 minutes and 50 seconds. So essentially 23 minutes for Jacoby Wright, 22 minutes, 43 seconds. Again, essentially 23 minutes for Cam Scott. Arden Conyers was the other player that really saw significant time coming off of the bench, 17 minutes, 53 seconds. So you can round up on that. Benjamin Bosman Verdonk last night getting 15 minutes and 52 seconds of action for the Gamecocks in the 86-60 victory. Nick Pringle, the transfer. Richard asked about Nick Pringle last night. Pringle, 23 minutes, 3 of 5 from the field. Not the rebounding number you'd like to see from him. That number is going to have to go up by 2 or 3, but only 4 rebounds, 1 offensive, 3 defensive last night, 2 fouls, 2 assists, 2 turnovers. He also filled up the box score pretty solid. 7 points from Nick Pringle last night. I'm thinking personally, if he's averaging about 8 and 6, 8.6 rebounds, those are great numbers for him, providing you some low post scoring with about 8 points a game. The key is being a physical presence down there and grabbing those rebounds. As I mentioned, Colin Murray-Boyles last night, absolutely fantastic. 19 points, 11 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds, 9 of 13 from the floor. But the Gamecocks get the job done, 86-60, and now they will gear up for the actual season opener next Monday night, North Florida, at Colonial Life Arena. Again, we'll have the coverage right here for you on 107.5 The Game, and obviously we'll cover it a lot on Tuesday morning. But you look at last night and you look at the way they played, really, again, a solid, I think, things that can be fixed. Great things to put on film. Great things to take back to the locker room and for Coach Paris to really harp on. You heard him kind of talk about some things that bled into shot selection, that the way he kind of worded that made me think he was not particularly pleased with what he saw last night in terms of some offensive things. The Gamecocks took 36 three-pointers last night. This is going to be a team that's willing to take the deep shot. 36 three-pointers last night. They made 11 of them. They were 9 of 20 also from the foul line. That's got to be corrected. Nick Pringle, 1 of 4 from the foul line, kind of led that. Jacoby Wright was 2 of 4. So you need to get those numbers up a little bit. But 36 three-pointers last night in the ballgame for the Gamecocks, just 30.5% from the three-point range. They shot 6 of 18 in the second. They shot 18 in both halves, 6 of 18 in the second half, 5 of 18 in the first half. So certain numbers there that you can look at and kind of circle and say, all right, we got to change this a little bit. We got to be better here. Got to improve there. The Gamecocks, by the way, on the night, out-rebounded Worcester. They had the Gamecocks last night 48 rebounds on the night. Worcester, and they should do this, by the way, Worcester last night with just 26 rebounds. So some key numbers from there. We'll let you listen to a little bit more from Lamont Paris, him talking about it being a productive game. When we come back, you're listening to The Early Game.
The Game Network in Columbia.
107.5 The Game.
In Florence.
100.5 The Game.
In Myrtle Beach.
100.3 The Game.
Powered by Integrated Media, The Game TV.
Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality.
The Game TV. 107.5 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Take up to $20K off new Silverados.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. Together, let's drive.
Get ready to smile because Herndon Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer, is offering an amazing deal right now. Get up to $20,000 off new Silverados. Yes, you heard that right. Up to $20,000 off. Don't wait. Head over to HerndonChevy.com today and drive home in the truck of your dreams. Chevy, together let's drive.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
Call 803-510-5447 for complete details.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Not all policies will qualify. Not available in all states.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The new Kubota MX Series has a lot to offer, including the versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade roads, and clear brush and snow. An optional spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. A front-end loader with excellent loader lift capacity, transmission options, and rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
Stop by Pioneer Farm Equipment in Orangeburg, 1 mile off of I-26 exit 154B, or at pioneerfarmsc.com.
The Game
Gamecock men's basketball season is almost here, and we need you to help us pack Colonial Life Arena all season long. Season tickets are on sale now and start as low as $90. That's less than $6 per game to see 2024 SEC Coach of the Year Lamont Paris try and get back to the NCAA tournament for the second year in a row. For more information and to secure your season tickets, visit thegamecockclub.com/MBB today. Whatever the game, whoever you're with, just catch a game.
Hey, this is Paul Romanstein, proud owner of Midlands Landscape and Lawns, here today with my two sons.
Hey, I'm Blake Romanstein. Midlands Landscape and Lawns is a family-owned business rooted right here in the Midlands for over 30 years.
And I'm Braden Romanstein. We're not just local, we're your neighbors, and we're going to take care of you like you live next door.
From residential landscaping to hardscape design and installation to maintenance and everything in between. Call or visit Midlands Landscape and Lawns today at midlandslandscape.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code COMFORT at checkout. That's harrys.com, code COMFORT. Enjoy.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic
is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
Oak Crest Road near North Trenham Road. We have a report of an accident there. Also, you'll find one coming into Columbia I-126 at Hugie. Highway 6 at I-20, a report of an accident there. Highway 262 at I-77 and I-20 eastbound between Broad River Road and Monticello Roads, between exits 65 and 68 on I-20 eastbound. You'll also find an accident that has the left lane currently blocked. 82 today, 83 tomorrow, 81 for our day of football. And overnight lows every night about 60, so pretty decent. 56 currently on 107.5 The Game.
The Early Game with Bill Gunter,
former Gamecock Preston Thorne,
and Jen Jensen.
From the Midlands to the PD to the beach.
The Game Network.
We'll get back into some football discussion coming up. We'll let you hear a little bit more from Lamont Paris, but we want to remind you about the Lawyer Lisa Special Teams Contest. Still going on. Still taking place. No special teams touchdowns just yet. The pot is currently at $800. You heard that right. The pot currently $800. You can win it. All you got to do is go to 1075thegame.com and register. If South Carolina scores a special teams touchdown this weekend, someone could win $800. It's very simple. We're not even asking a whole lot from you. You just go to 1075thegame.com. Register. If you've already registered, good news, you're still registered. If you haven't registered, get over to 1075thegame.com and register. Again, that pot is currently at $800. It is the Lawyer Lisa Special Teams Contest. So get registered for that today. We'll talk more football coming up here in a little bit, let you hear a little bit more from what Clayton White and Dow Loggins had to say. But talking a little basketball right now, Gamecocks, the men's team really debuting last night. Our first chance to see them in person. They led the first half 44-32, outscored Worcester 42-28 in the second half. I mentioned it, Colin Murray-Boyles leading the way last night. 19 points, 11 rebounds, some really solid nights. Cam Scott last night makes his Gamecock debut, 16 points, 6 rebounds. redshirt freshman, Arden Conyers, made his debut, 16 points, just 2 rebounds, but he knocked down 4 of 5 from the three-point range. By the way, if you're wondering, Scott, 3 of 8 from three-point range. So Gamecocks make 11 three-pointers on the night, 7 of them coming from the duo of Cam Scott and Arden Conyers. They were a combined 7 for 13 from three-point range. Other newcomers last night, Jordan Butler making his Gamecock debut, played just 11 minutes 31 seconds to be precise. 0 of 3 from the field, 0 of 2 from three-point range, grabbed just 2 rebounds on the night for him. So interesting debut. He's got to develop, continue to develop for a team that's going to need a little bit more of an inside presence off of the bench. You're going to need a little bit more there from Jordan Butler, but still a young player, plenty of time to develop for him moving forward. Again, Morris Ugasuk, last night, 14 minutes played, 0 of 1 from the field, 0 of 1 from three-point range, had 6 rebounds. That's kind of what he brings to the floor is a rebounding guard, and he did a good job of that last night. 6 of the Gamecocks' 48 rebounds coming from Ugasuk last night. After the game, Lamont Paris talked about how it was a productive game and what he learned. Here is Lamont Paris last night talking about the 86-60 victory over Worcester.
Productive game for us. You get in these games, and ultimately, here's what you would like to have happen. You get tested in this area or that area. You get a chance to see what some unknown commodities look like when they get out there. Some of them under the lights for the first time. You want to play a team that competes. You want to play someone that's good. Honestly, I don't like doing it if the team's not good, and they were good. They have a good team. I'm looking forward to following them this season and see how they finish. I'm really excited about that, actually, because I think they have a really good team. So I think it was really good for us, very valuable for us. It's going to be a really good film session for on Friday. We're off tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to some of the messages that we'll be able to send. We had some young guys that really went in there and performed, and that was really exciting to see them take that moment and grab the bull by the horns and go out there and perform well. So very, very successful exhibition game in that it provided us everything that we could have hoped for.
So now, and you heard that, and I think if you listened a lot yesterday, we played the Lamont Paris kind of coaching soundbite, and he does strike me. I think the more we listen to him, the more we continue to get to know Coach Paris. He does seem like a guy who thoroughly enjoys practice, thoroughly enjoys the teaching of the game and going over film, and I wish Preston was here to kind of discuss that, because I'm sure he has played and been around coaches who thoroughly enjoy the teaching aspect, maybe not so much the coaching, the game aspect, but the teaching and the practice and just the fundamentals, and as Preston would say, the triple threat stance and ball overhead and all just the small unique things that you get to teach in basketball. And you heard Lamont Paris there talk about a film session, and he'll have them ready to go again next Monday night, November the 4th. North Florida comes to town. If you're wondering, we haven't discussed a whole lot of college basketball, and really I'm personally starting to get more into it now with the start of the season coming up. The AP Top 25, Kansas number 1. Then you've got Alabama. The Crimson Tide and Nate Oates are number 2. Defending champion Connecticut at 3. Houston 4. Iowa State 5. Rounding out the top 10 is Gonzaga. Duke at 7. Baylor at 8. North Carolina at 9. Arizona at 10. Going down the rest of the list. Now, I want you to listen here a little bit, because I did this yesterday off the top of my head. I think I did it on the cocktail hour. But listen to the SEC teams here once you get outside of the 10. Arizona's at 10. Auburn 11. Tennessee 12. Texas A&M 13. That gives you 4 top 15 teams from the SEC. Again, that's A&M at 13, Tennessee at 12, Auburn at 11, Alabama at 2. Outside of the 15, Creighton, by the way, Purdue at 14, Creighton at 15. Arkansas and new coach John Calipari, 16. Indiana, who South Carolina will see coming up on November 16th. Indiana is at 17. Marquette, 18. New SEC team, Texas, in at number 19. So now you got 7 of the top 19 teams being from the SEC, right there. 6 of the 6 SEC teams. Arkansas and Texas there. 6 of the top 19 coming from the SEC. Cincinnati at 20. Florida at 21. I personally was a little surprised by that. UCLA at 22. Kentucky and new coach Mark Pope at 23. And Ole Miss at 24. Rutgers rounds out the top 25 there at number 25. So as you can see, 24 Mississippi, 23 Kentucky, 21 Florida, Texas at 19, Arkansas at 16, Texas A&M at 13, Tennessee at 12, Auburn at 11, and Alabama at 2. You've got a lot of SEC teams in the top 25, and it's going to make for an interesting conference schedule. We talk about the football teams beating up on one another and cannibalizing each other, especially right now as we go into November. Basketball is going to be very similar. Quite frankly, this is as deep as I've seen the SEC in basketball. I don't know from what I've read and at least talked to people if I'm willing to put Alabama all the way at number 2. Mark Sears is back for them, and they are a really, really good team. I do think there's a lot of parity, 1 through about 20, to be honest with you. Florida's the one, still at 21. I'm a little baffled by. I know they've got some good players. Todd Golden's a good coach, but I was a little surprised by them being in the top 25. But 1 through 20 in college basketball, I think is really wide open. Everybody will look at Connecticut coming back after their championship and wonder if they can do it again. But the truth be told, I think there's a lot of parity. But in the SEC alone, again, let me just repeat this to you to understand what South Carolina is going to be dealing with. And it's why I'm not surprised, or was not surprised, that South Carolina was picked 11th in the league. And it's also why I've said that, quite frankly, outside of about the top 3, which is Alabama, Auburn, and Tennessee, throw the rest in a hat and just take out who you want. If I'd have seen South Carolina in the top 25, I would not have been surprised. Now, with that being said, South Carolina did not even get votes for the top others in the others receiving votes category. Clemson got 9 in the AP top 25. They got 8 in the coaches poll. But South Carolina did not even receive votes in the others receiving votes category. But again, when we talk about SEC basketball, and we'll get back into football coming up in the next segment, but when we talk about SEC basketball, it's a strong, strong conference. Again, let me give you that rundown. Alabama at 2, and then you go to Auburn, Tennessee, and Texas A&M, 11, 12, and 13. Arkansas, John Calipari, how do they gel? But they're a very talented team. They're at 16. Texas is at 19. Again, as I mentioned, Florida right there at 21. Kentucky at 23, and Ole Miss at 24. So imagine that 9 of the top 25 teams come from the SEC. I think Joe Lunardi's bracketology, I think last I saw, he'll put out a new one next Tuesday. But Joe Lunardi's bracketology, I believe, and I'll go back and look at this during the break and just make sure I'm correct, I believe had 10 SEC teams making the NCAA tournament. So it's going to be a very difficult conference schedule. Obviously, we'll go through the non-con and see what South Carolina looks like and allow them the opportunity to develop. I've mentioned several times, and I've not brought up his name this morning, one of the keys for me is Jamari Thomas, the new point guard transfer. Not a good night for him last night. Played just 14 minutes, scored just 1 point, hitting a free throw. He's 0 of 4 from the field, 0 of 3 from three-point range. Didn't really have great assist numbers. That is a guy that I look at and that has got to be the catalyst, one of the catalysts for this team. I still don't think we give Talon Cooper enough credit for how he performed last year. He was so instrumental in making that team what they were, from a leadership role, from an on-the-court role, just his physical size. He was a mismatch for a lot of teams because of that size, because of the way he could defend other point guards. Jamari Thomas is an entirely different point guard, and in my opinion, that's the one thing that I'm a little concerned about as we move forward with this basketball team. Not a great night from him, but still just his kind of Gamecock debut. I'm sure he can pick it up and improve. 803-404-6100. We'll get back into some football discussion. What Clayton White had to say. The Gamecock defense against Marcel Reed and the Texas A&M offense. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to The Early Game.
From the Midlands to the PD to the beach.
The Game Network.
Hey, this is Terry Ford, 107.5 The Game. We just want to invite you to a real special event coming up at the Dillon Columbia Supply Company. It's their fall open house, November 7th, noon to 2 p.m. It's your chance to meet their incredible team, check out their products and services, and get exclusive event day specials. Whether you're in the industrial, construction, steel, or safety business, they've got the tools and supplies you need. Again, Thursday, November 7th, noon to 2 at Dillon Columbia Supply Company, 320 Orchard Drive, West Columbia.
Bill Gunner for Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Here as we wrap up the month of October, head toward November, and you might already now be thinking about that Thanksgiving lunch dinner that you've got to put on for the entire family. Well, hopefully you're thinking about giving the family a nice, clean home as well. You definitely do not want the family showing up for turkey and stuffing to have while walking around on dirty, dingy carpets. So call Zerorez today and line up a cleaning. 803-262-4020. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. You heard that correct. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. You can schedule with ease online, ZerorezColumbia.com, or give them a phone call, 803-262-4020. Again, that's 803-262-4020. Call Zerorez today. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Sponsored by Compassion International.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
Hi, everybody. This is Woody Wyndham here to talk about Pioneer Tree Service. Pioneer Tree Service has more than 4 decades of helping homeowners maintain and manage trees on their property. Their skilled crew offers customized solutions that match your needs and budget. Tree trimming and tree removal can be dangerous. You need to trust the people that are doing the job. Before attempting to remove limbs, call Pioneer Tree Service for a free quote. They remove limbs safely and make sure that future growth is directed away from potential trouble areas such as roof lines and driveways. Cutting down trees takes more than a chainsaw. Even branches can weigh thousands of pounds, and their removal must be handled with care. Pioneer Tree Service offers a full complement of state-of-the-art heavy equipment, from track hose to bucket trucks to safely remove trees and stumps from your property. And no matter where you live, the Gantt girls can get there. And I want you to call them at 803-794-8253.
I'm Russell Ott. If you're like most people I talk to, you're just tired of the nonsense in politics. It's getting harder and harder to really know where candidates stand on the issues. Politicians seem to pledge their allegiance to parties rather than people. All the silly games do nothing to help families and businesses that are struggling to pay the bills. It's time to push back on politics as usual and get back to common sense solutions that work. That's how we create a stronger South Carolina. I'm Russell Ott, and I'm asking for your vote for state senate so I can get to work for you.
Paid for by Ott for Senate.
Do you like trivia? Do you like pizza? You're going to love Thursday night at the Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers. That's right. Mellow in the Vista and on Sunset in Lexington have live hosted team trivia every Thursday night starting at 7. Trivia buffs of all ages can compete for Mellow cash and swag in our fun and funky digs while enjoying specials on amazing pizzas, apps, sandwiches, salads, and over 100 beers from around the world. You've still got your long-term memory. Use it at the Mellow Mushroom every Thursday in the Vista and on Sunset in Lexington.
Strengthening the lives of children and families is a passion. Turn that passion into results as a child welfare case manager. Learn more at dss.sc.gov. This message is sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Social Services.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show. Terrell Davis, former NFL player for the Denver Broncos.
When I played, if I had to get a message out, it was probably through my agent, or I had to tell somebody in the media. Now, I can just tweet it. I can just put it on social media. You hear a lot of things that you don't want to hear, and then your family hears it, they tell you about it. So it's definitely a different environment.
Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Got something to say?
Ring us up on the Love Chevy phone line
at 803-404-6100. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 100.5 The Game in Florence. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. The Game Network.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic
is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
We have a significant accident at Platte Springs Road and John Hardy Expressway. There are police out there directing traffic, but it is impacting traffic flow both directions. So pretty big snarl there. Again, that's Platte Springs Road at John Hardy Expressway, impacting traffic both directions. I-77 southbound at Purcellville Road, also a tie-up there. I-20 eastbound between Broad River Road and Monticello Road, and also 262 at I-77. As we mentioned, it's going to be pretty nice. Low 80s through Saturday. Overnight lows around 60, so kind of nice fall-like temperatures. A little bit of patchy dense fog out there this morning. Be careful. It's 56 on the early game.
What you're talking about.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet
on the Game Network.
$7:35 as we get you up and going. Reminder tomorrow, and we got some high school stuff to discuss. Chris Deering will join us tomorrow morning at about 7:15 to go over the Friday night high school highlights. But also tomorrow night, 7 p.m., the Love Chevy High School Football Scoreboard Show with Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, and Ed Bird. So we'll have a lot of high school stuff for you coming up tomorrow with our show. I know Terry Ford does something there in the 1 o'clock during his show. I think I was going to say the 1 o'clock hour. I'm not 100% sure on that. But we will also have the Love Chevy High School Football Scoreboard Show with Justin Hall and Elijah Campbell and Ed Bird all coming up.
I didn't know Terry Ford did things.
Occasionally.
Okay.
I think he did stuff yesterday.
Might be. I might have seen him around. I can't wait to see his costume today.
Ooh.
Scary Terry.
You think he's dressed up? Terry doesn't strike me as a guy who dresses up. Feels like he's too cool for that.
Yeah, he actually strikes me as one who is making fun of everybody else who is dressing up,
Yeah. Feels like that's not adult enough for him.
And I also sort of envision him being like, yeah, I'll negotiate for the candy.
That's a good point.
You aren't going to get it easily because I think he wants to keep it in his hands.
That's a good point.
I've seen the pile in the press box.
Really?
He likes the snacks.
Okay.
Yes. He'll be the first to admit it. I'm not telling tales, out of school.
He does seem like a guy that I could see over-analyzing each costume that comes to his front door.
There you go. Yeah, not worthy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's got like a roll of just one singular Tootsie Rolls. And like, if he doesn't approve of your costume, he just picks one and puts one Tootsie Roll in your
There you go.
In your
a little
bag.
thing of Smarties or something.
Yeah,
It's like something that's just not quite up to snuff. Or you might get a good Snickers.
Do we have an official name for that nasty, like orange wrapped peanut butter? I think it was a peanut butter candy.
I remember we talked about this last year.
Yeah,
I don't
that
remember
needs to get brought up about every year.
I don't remember the extra, and I'm sure if anybody has any left over, it's still fine.
Those and those crunchy white and black like zebra, they're not, but they're, I don't even know what kind of candy. They might even be a peanut butter kind of candy. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Like rectangular almost.
Yeah. Kind of dry.
Those are the ones that even the dogs wouldn't eat when you were like, they would come over and sniff your candy and like repel away from those.
Truly. And later on we'll have to have a discussion because I've noticed that the Christmas tree cakes have gotten in the stores.
Yeah.
Interestingly, expiration, I've gone to a couple stores now and I've just out of curiosity looked at the expiration dates. November 18th of this year. Now that's pretty quick, which makes me think there was a lot of leftover stock from last year and we're trying to get it out quickly. So yeah, check the expiration dates on those because
I
they may
will
be old.
I will definitely be looking because Austin picked up a box like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So now,
like I promise you, 3 stores all had stuff that said November 18th. Very curious. I'm hard hitting reporting, man. Yeah,
we're on time. We're dressed up today.
Football, basketball, whatever. We're getting down to Christmas tree cakes. Let's be honest.
We're covering our bases here with Halloween candy and Christmas tree cakes. And now you've got me concerned because I haven't felt in the mood for a Christmas tree cake yet. Like I kind of feel like I should.
I haven't sampled, and I'm sure they're fine. But it's just curious to me how there's a very
expiration dates.
Trust me. Yeah, I think it's last year's stash.
Okay. All right. Keep an eye out for that, folks, especially kids at 7:39.
If this hits the news, man, we brought it to you first. You were on top of it.
Yeah. If it turns out that America rebelled against Christmas tree cakes in 2023 and what is that? Is that Little Debbie? Is that Debbie? Is that Little Debbie?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And it turns out that Little Debbie just took them back and kept them in a warehouse for a year and has resent them back out early. Mm-hmm. It's the kind of news that we bring to you only on this program.
No kidding.
Reason we're number 2 in the state in sports talk radio.
Well,
if we were really on it, we would be number 1.
That's true. I should have brought this sooner.
Yeah. Yep. We should have brought this to your attention 2 weeks ago when they came out. We apologize for that. 803-404-6100 is how you can weigh in. Texter says, "You're crazy, Bill. Generic Halloween candy is awesome. Orange and black wrapped candy really hits."
I mean, it's orange. It can't be very good, right?
It can't.
See?
It's not allowed to be good.
It's orange.
I don't think there's a rule against that. 803-404-6100. Your favorite off-brand Halloween candy, if you have one. Favorite off-brand Halloween candy, if you have one there. Speaking of off-brand, Texas A&M will host their midnight yell, their yell practice from the State House midnight. I think it's called midnight. I don't really know. Yell practice or midnight yell, whatever they do, Friday night just down the street from us over at the State House steps. That's one issue that we have to deal with. The other is figuring out how to defend their quarterbacks. And yesterday, Clayton White talked about playing different style quarterbacks. Number 6 on this one, Jen. Here is what he had to say about playing different style quarterbacks in Connor Weigman and Marcel Reed.
A good one. Obviously, it definitely helps for sure. It's not your first time going against a mobile quarterback. So some of your things, some of your tools that you put in your toolbox for those kind of quarterbacks is already in there. They've already been, used. They're not tools that you have to kind of, open the pack and then they're rusty and all that kind of stuff. So that's always good to have those things already oiled up and ready to go. We call it bank reps. So they're sitting in the bank. We've been using it and we just got to keep using them. And then it's definitely, you have to make sure that you're practicing it well and your quarterback's giving you a good look and because it can surprise you on the game day if you don't work it and you don't go against it. Like I said, it really helps that we have Lenoris and Robbie. So when we go good on good against our offense, we're getting those same exact feel that we would get on a Saturday against a mobile quarterback.
Speaking of the mobile quarterback, that I think, and we'll get into a lot of this tomorrow, containing Marcel Reed, I think scares, I can't speak for y'all. You can weigh in on that, containing Marcel Reed. But it feels like that's scarier here on Halloween than trying to contain Connor Weigman. Weigman is exactly what I think South Carolina would want to face. He can run. He's not a statue back there, but he is a guy that you can get to and cause a lot of issues with, just like what LSU did to him last week. So the bigger question is, how do you contain Marcel Reed? And here's Clayton White yesterday talking about containing Marcel Reed.
Yes, obviously the announcement probably don't need to be made. We have an idea that obviously definitely going to see both quarterbacks at some point, maybe one or maybe two. But our guys understand rushing quarterbacks in this league. The past couple of weeks have been very mobile guys. I think most of the guys can move around a little bit. Obviously, the quarterback from Oklahoma the previous week that started the game was a mover. We talk about it a lot. We go against it every single day with Lenoris and Robbie and our guys. So we understand how to rush those guys, but obviously we got to make sure we do that in the game.
We'll talk more about this, especially tomorrow with Preston Thorne, and get his take as a defensive lineman on what Clayton White had to say, as well as slowing down Marcel Reed. But certainly that will be the big one. 803-404-6100 is how you can weigh in. Jeff says, y'all had me curious to check the Christmas tree cakes my daughter bought last week. November 19th.
See? I'm telling you. Just saying. And not that that's expired. I'm not saying that, but very curious. It's not like they're baked fresh.
Is this new? Is this a new thing with expiration dates on Christmas tree cakes? Is that what we're also discovering?
I assume they've been on there, but yeah.
I don't know.
See, no, it isn't. There are a lot of November 19th out there.
To check that out. Buddy weighs in, the black and orange wrapped peanut butter toffee is just a generic Mary Jane candy.
Okay.
And then a couple of y'all are weighing in. We do seem to have some variations on what those are called. Texter weighs in says the candy is called peanut butter kisses.
Oh, okay.
And then we also got a nice text message in with pictures of the, those peanut butter bars, which did not look all that delicious. So we'll update you on that as well.
Dehydrated is what they seem to be.
A lot to get to in this hour, and only about 4 minutes to do it. Josh Harris coming up in the next hour as well. It is the early game.
107.5 The Game.
In Columbia.
100.5 The Game.
In Florence.
100.3 The Game.
In Myrtle Beach. The Game Network. Hate paying for streaming? One more thing you got to stream and pay for? Well, the Game app is, wait for it, free.
It's free! It's free! It's free!
Yes, all you got to do is go to iTunes or Google Play and download the 107.5 The Game app and listen for nothing in all respects of the word. Nothing.
This is Boomer Science with Sportsman Edge, sponsored by Wrangler. It's Wrangler season out there, open roads, endless horizon. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles. So who are the scariest defensive players in the NFL? Imagine being an offensive coordinator watching spine-chilling videos of the Giants' sexy Dexy Lawrence. How about Vegas' Max Crosby, San Fran's Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, and Pittsburgh's TJ Watt whistling through the graveyard of sacked signal callers? Kind of terrifying if you ask me. Oh, happy Halloween, everybody. I'm Boomer Science.
When I wake up,
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Shop early, save big all month long during Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Right now, get select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at just $59.98. Don't wait to save. Shop these deals today, in-store or online. Because Lowe's knows deals. Discount taken at time of purchase while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
Bill Gunner from Mid-State Roofing, where for nearly 30 years, Larry Leitner and the family have been the leader, the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. And as, again, we now move into November, final day of October here, and we move into November, you've got to make sure your roof is ready to handle anything that winter throws at you. Is it? That's the big question mark, whether your business or your home is ready to handle it. If not, it's time to call Mid-State Roofing and get yourself a maintenance contract. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Mid-State Roofing is ready to help you. If you call them, even right now at 7:47 on a Thursday morning, you'll speak with an on-call technician or a Mid-State Roofing employee who is ready to help you with that maintenance contract. So make the phone call, 803-356-1919. Again, that is 803-356-1919. For more information, you can visit them on the web, midstateroofing.com. Wherever you're at in this great state, call Mid-State Roofing today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
It's time for mortgage protection with Preston and your top broker, Benji Getsy from Buford Lending. Rates continue to fall. Hey, Benji, give us this week's Mortgage Minute.
6 straight weeks of declining rates and a Fed rate cut. Now is the time. VA 30-year fixed, 4.9%, APR 5.2. And the VA IRRRL, no income, no appraisal, close in 10 days, 4.8%, APR 5.1. 30-year conventional looking good, 5.5%, APR 5.8. Second home, investors, 6.3%, APR 6.7. And the DSCR, fix and flip financing, 6.9%, APR 7.3. And don't forget construction lending. Call for details. Thanks for shopping your rate with Buford Lending. We want to be your broker. Rate subject to change, equal housing lender, credit restrictions apply. NMLS 1703543.
For more information on how Benji and his team at Buford Lending can help you, visit them online at buford.mortgage or call 843-524-2404.
The early game.
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
In Columbia, 107.5 The Game. In Florence, 100.5 The Game. In Myrtle Beach, 100.3 The Game.
Reminder, the brand new craft beer card has arrived. It's only $59. That's a savings of around $300. To purchase your brand new craft beer card today, go to 1075thegame.com and just click on the Sweet Deals tab. Purchase you a brand new craft beer card. You know how it is. I'm not a craft beer drinker, but I know a lot of people, as you get into cooler weather, you like having a nice craft beer with your turkey and cranberry and stuffing. Maybe you like a nice craft beer around Christmas time, so go purchase you a brand new craft beer card. Again, just $59. That is a savings of $300. Go to 1075thegame.com and click on Sweet Deals. No, it does not include Jay Phillips with it. Jay Phillips, a professional craft beer drinker. He might have some recommendations for you on that.
I think we should have probably worked this out and made it something different, or made it like the Jay Phillips craft beer card, because maybe we could have had like his recommendations and his insights.
Ooh, it's a good idea. Yeah. Look at you.
I have them every once in a while. It was the funk music early this morning that got me fired up, I guess.
Yes. If you didn't see, we have dressed up. We dressed up today. Yep. You got to see Jen on go to our live stream. You go to the Game TV radio. You can see me. I am an obnoxious football fan.
Instead of just being obnoxious in general, today you're an obnoxious football fan.
Put on the Miami Hurricane jersey and my neon orange hat.
You concerned a few people driving by. I've gotten a few calls or texts who said, "Why on earth is he in orange?"
Yep. Well, Halloween, and it's Miami. And as we joked, Preston said I dressed up as inflation, which was pretty funny because he said this jersey is it's a medium. And I will stand up here in a second right here. I'll do this while we're doing the live stream. I'll stand up. This jersey I got this, I'll never forget. I got this, it's a Ray Lewis Miami Hurricane jersey. It's orange. It's got white lettering with the green. It's a Nike jersey. It's hard to tell. And I felt this is, when we're all young and easily embarrassed, I guess. I think it was like 5th or 6th grade is when I got this jersey. Maybe 7th at the latest. So 12, 13, 14, in that ballpark. And you're right. There's nothing on it that suggests it's a Miami Hurricanes jersey. Like, you have to kind of look at it. Like, you have to see the green. There's the green outline here. But it's huge. Number one, it's huge. Like, for a 42-year-old man, I'm wearing a dress, essentially. This is really a dress. But again, as I try to show the live stream here, it is a medium. But it is almost down to my knees.
Wow.
And granted, I'm not a tall man.
But still, that's for a medium.
Right.
That's big. That shouldn't be swallowing you like that.
It's huge. And I think I got it. And my grandmother gave it to me. It was a present they were very proud of. And the joke around the house was I wanted to wear it like that final day that you go to school before Christmas. Like the last day of Christmas break. I wanted to wear it. I was so excited to wear it. So my grandmother didn't tell me what gift it was. Just said you can pick out one gift, and that's what you can, and if you pick the right one from under the tree, that's what you can wear that day. Unbeknownst to me, she had not wrapped it yet, so she knew it was not in there. Instead, she kind of seemed to allude to the fact that it was in a certain box, and when I opened that box,
oh no,
tidy whities, a nice freshman. She said, "See, you can wear those to school tomorrow."
I think I like your grandma.
Yeah. So that was the joke. And of course, again, a very sensitive, whatever I was, 5th, 6th, 7th grader, did not find that joke funny at all. But I did end up getting the jersey. It is still massively huge today. It's been worn about 10 times. But that is what I'm dressed up either as an obnoxious, if you want to say Miami fan, which would fit, or just an obnoxious football fan. I don't have a gold chain. I don't have gold chains. I do have a silver one. And normally I tuck it into my shirt so you really can't see it. But today even that's out. So Jen is dressed up as the SEC Shorts Vanderbilt character, but she's got her Carolina shirt on. Earlier, she had a cape on. She had a golf club, which was concerning early, but now I understand
the
prop.
Walking stick.
It is her walking stick. And
I'll come back in the live stream after we talk to Josh.
And Preston was dressed up as Thick Six. And you can see if you're again on the live stream, he has left his 6 here. He did not take it with him to Chesney to teach the kids.
Perfect. I think that was very, very clever.
So we adulted up very, very good. Yes, Steve says, I see you're in your Clemson gear this morning. Yes. Again, That was another reason.
No,
I became embarrassed. Like, once I got the jersey, I was like, wait, this looks too much like Clemson, and I didn't want to go to school and be made fun of.
Yep, exactly. Well, and just rest assured, folks, if it was a Clemson jersey, the golf club that I brought in would be used appropriately.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, so I did purchase, I got called up one time, I'll openly admit here on Halloween, a day of true honesty, a well-known day of honesty. I got called up when I was probably in like 5th grade in Clemson baseball camp and did purchase a Clemson baseball hat while I was up there. That was the...
Yeah, okay.
Kids
don't always know better.
So, yeah. 803-404-6100. I will get into these text messages. We've got another Christmas tree cake expiration date. We'll tell you all about it. Josh Harris also do it.
1075 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Take up to $20K off new Silverados.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. Together, let's drive.
Bill Gunner for the mortgage guru, Jacob Crowder with First Palmetto Bank. We are talking about moving. That's right, moving. Are you thinking about moving? If you think about moving into Richland County, guess what? Jacob Crowder and First Palmetto Bank have what is called the Community Reinvestment Product. To learn more about it, contact Jacob Crowder today, 803-719-1005. Again, that's 803-719-1005. The Community Reinvestment Product is for the areas in Richland County, Blythewood, Northeast, Southeast, and the I-20 corridor, where they are offering you right now a 4.99% interest with a 5.075 APR on a 30-year fixed mortgage. This is not just for first-time home buyers. This is for everyone, so you can tell your friends, realtors, and builders all about it. Go ahead. Call Jacob Crowder today and get more information. 803-719-1005. Call the Mortgage Guru today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Sponsored by Budget Blinds of Forest Lake. Enjoy the view, courtesy of your local window covering expert, Robert Myers from Budget Blinds of Forest Lake. Locally owned and operated, Budget Blinds of Forest Lake can provide your windows with exclusive styles to create the look you want at the budget you need. Visit budgetblinds.com for details.
Sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Life matters. There were lots of things a young teen should be doing in his spare time besides reading. He owed it to himself to have some fun, maybe get involved with sports. The problem with Harry was that he wore thick glasses and had poor eye-hand coordination. His only option was to read. In fact, by the time he finished high school, Harry had read every single book in the local library and the history books more than once. Folks thought it was a waste, but when the United States went looking for a man to lead them through the early years of the Cold War, they were glad Harry had spent so much time in the library. President Harry S. Truman owed his success to years of studying history and using the past to chart a course for the future. He used his weakness to develop his strength, and the world is a better place for it. This is Stephen Chitty, pastor of Christian Life. Remember, life matters, and so do you.
Powered by Integrated Media, The Game TV.
Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality.
The Game TV.
Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic
is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
Big snarl on Platte Springs Road right there at that John Hardy Expressway. There is an accident. It's kind of in the middle of that intersection, and it is impacting traffic flow both directions. So it's slow going there. Police are on site, and they are directing traffic. So maybe try to find an alternate route if at all possible. Again, that's Platte Springs Road at John Hardy Expressway. Also, Highway 1 near I-77, an accident. Highway 6 at I-20. I-77 southbound at Killian Road, and also at Percival Road on I-77 southbound. and 262 at I-77. 82 is going to be our high today, and it's 56 currently.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
The home of the national champion Gamecocks women's basketball team. Congrats, y'all.
A Cumulus media station.
The early game
With Bill Gunter.
I love me some me.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
I don't yuck anybody's yums.
And Jen Jensen.
Let's play a little game real quick.
Oh, boy.
Jen, somebody calls you and says, Bill's coming on with us. Bill Gunter's coming on with us later. How should we refer to him?
Schmo.
There you go.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
Fine. I'm the one that can't do it. Kids, don't be like me. Be more like Jen.
Be tough.
Be tough. That's right. Unlike me, be tough.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach.
The theme of this show. I don't know what happened.
And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
a.m. on your October 31st Halloween morning. We have, at least, unless Jen's sneaking it in there, and I have missed it, we have made it 2 full hours without a Kit Kat, without a Three Musketeers bar, without a Snickers bar, without a donut. I don't know. We
haven't really had much of anything.
What is wrong with us?
I don't know. Somebody failed.
This program has completely fallen apart for us to go 2 full hours without a donut, without a Kit Kat.
We came prepared with the costumes, and I think that took all of our energy.
We did, and a couple people have asked our buddy. I'm getting a little loose with Buddy. Clemson Sean says, "What's wrong with being a Clemson fan?" And then I've got other text about obnoxious fans, Georgia, Miami. And an obnoxious fan, a perfect obnoxious fan telling me that at least obnoxious Miami fans have a history to brag about. See? That's why I'm dressed the way I am.
There you go.
Way to fit in. Joining us now, a guy who's never obnoxious and I'm sure gives out full-size Snickers bars to the neighborhood kids, Darlington Raceway President Josh Harris. Mr. Harris, I'm assuming you're dressed up today as well.
Well, that'd be a little bit of a stretch. So, my oldest son and I are dressed alike, so we're going as twins, even though we're separated for the day.
Okay. Separated at birth, twins. They're very creative. Very creative. Good idea. Very good. Very, very good. So let's start the trucks and treats. I think it was tracks and treats last Saturday. How did that go down there at Darlington?
Yeah, it was a good event. The Junior League of Florence put that on, had a number of cool vehicles that kids could come out and check out, get some candy, and just, a good way to bring people out to the track and a fun way. The event was about 3 hours, and everyone had a good time. So we really appreciate the Junior League for putting that on and kind of getting the week of Halloween kicked off around here.
And then let's make sure we promote. We've got the track laps for charity coming up 2 weeks from Saturday. Another really cool thing that y'all do, you can go out. It starts at 11 a.m., but for the people that either have not heard us talk about this or are unaware, talk a little bit about the track laps for charity benefiting Toys for Tots of Darlington.
Yeah, so this will be our final track laps for charity. We try to do it about 4 times a year, and it's $25. You come out, you get to drive your own car around the Darlington Raceway. The track too tough to tame. We'll do 3 laps at a time. So every $25 donation gets you a set of 3 laps, and it's a fun way to drive your car, experience what the 25-degree banking is like, what that egg-shaped track is like, and it goes to a great cause, Toys for Tots. And for this one, we also have another option. You can do the cash donation, and we'll go partner with Toys for Tots to buy toys, or you can bring a new unwrapped toy that's got a value of $25 or more, and that can be your entry into track laps for charity. So like you said, that's 2 weeks from Saturday, November 16th, from 11 to 2 at Darlington Raceway.
It really is. It is a lot of fun to do. I have done it a couple times, and it's fun. You get the sense of it. And then when you hear like, hey, there's a bump outside of turn 2 or something, well, you find it. And so it's kind of fun to experience the track and really feel it and whatever. I'm a little disappointed that it's not another week later because my mother-in-law will be in town, and I would love to take her around the track. That would be a blast. That would just be fun.
Josh, I'll let you know, Jim. Maybe we can work something out.
That would be super fun. I mean, you max out. Like, you can only go, what is it? I think 70. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what the rules say.
Yeah. I like the voice there, but I'm a rule follower, believe it or not.
Let me just say this. Everybody should go and do this because, and Jen will testify to this, the first time we went to Darlington, what was that? That was Labor Day 2 years ago, I believe, if I'm thinking correctly. Maybe I can't remember. Maybe it was the spring race last year. Anyway, the bottom line is I had never been. And if you've never been to Darlington and you just watch it on TV or you're kind of a casual fan, what Josh and what Jen just said about the banking and the angle and the steepness of it is unbelievable. We were out there that morning. It was about 5:30 a.m. when we walked, and where we were initially had started to set up. I walked up there. It is. You are right. I can't imagine. I've stood on it, but I've never ridden in a car and drove. I can't imagine what that's like. And now that we say that, Josh, we may have to. That Saturday, November 16th, South Carolina plays Missouri at home, so we won't be able to make it down. We may have to beg you for a special opportunity when we come back down in April for me to ride in a car like that and do that. Jen's done it. I know Preston had.
I'll drive you.
Preston and I. You know what? And sadly, I would be horrified, terrified, just as scared as Preston and I were when we went with Brett Lasso on the speedboat and we're going 130 miles an hour across Lake Murray. But if you've never been and you've never experienced, you need to go see this. It is wild. Like if you're just like me, an average NASCAR fan that it gets into it, watches on television, it really is unique. And so when I've heard you and Josh talk about the banking at other speedways, I'm like, my goodness, how can it be any more severe than at Darlington?
That's true.
So,
but they are. So yeah, Darlington's a special place. So yeah, if you get a chance to do that, it is definitely worth the drive over.
And don't forget, it is coming up earlier this year. The throwback weekend will be April 5th and 6th. You can go get your tickets now. Go to darlingtonraceway.com. You can hover over the events tab, and right there, throwback weekend, April 5th and 6th. And Josh, I know you're excited about it. What do y'all do? This time of year, you get into the family stuff, Thanksgiving and Christmas, but what's going on down there at the track at this time of year?
Yeah, it's a lot of preparation and planning. With it being also our 75th anniversary, we are really diving into a lot of the history of the track. I mean, there's a lot of the, key moments that we all are aware of and know about, but really we want to try to shine some light on maybe some of those stories that aren't quite as well known. And so we're working on a number of things to get ready for next year. This is the time of the year where we do a lot of preparation, a lot of work, a lot of planning, so that especially when we hit the ground running in January, we are ready to go. We got a plan, and it's time to go execute.
156 days, 15 hours, 51 minutes now as it clicks under 52 minutes until the Goodyear 400 throwback weekend, again, April 5th and 6th. And you can go to darlingtonraceway.com and go ahead and purchase your tickets. And I tell you what, it has been a fun season. Josh, I hope you've enjoyed it. We are down to 2 races left. We are in Martinsville on Sunday, and then we wrap it up in Phoenix. And let's go back to last weekend. And it felt like the story of last weekend was more about a guy who is not a NASCAR driver, Michael Jordan, who now has a shot at a NASCAR crown after Tyler Reddick's win. Josh, your thoughts on last weekend?
Well, I think once again, Homestead Miami Speedway showed why it's one of our best tracks on the circuit. Puts on phenomenal racing. And, not only what we saw there at the end with that late race restart, but just the racing throughout. And I know we've had some closer finishes this year, but I don't know that we've had as competitive of a finish those last 3 laps with Blaney, Hamlin, and Tyler Reddick all swapping the lead between those last 3 laps. I thought your guy was gonna punch his ticket, but he just couldn't hold off the car that he owned ultimately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know. And you think about it, and he definitely was disappointed post-race, and Hamlin he did not look happy at all. And I get that. And I'm sure it's very, very torn because for him personally, yes, he wants to get into the playoffs, but he has to be at least somewhat elated that his driver is in, the championship 4. So I think that's exciting. But I agree. I think the racing was really good. I love when there's the ability to pass and have that much swapping and stuff. I think that's just really an exciting part of the sport. And it was a really good race.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's one of the better tracks on the circuit, regardless of, Xfinity, Cup, Truck, all 3 races for the weekend were good. And, I'm sure Denny, he said as much, especially right after the race. And even I think when he recorded his podcast this week, he still was in his driver mindset. And there will be time where, he'll reflect on the accomplishment of the team he owns. But I think that's probably this time of the year when he's still in contention is probably the hardest for him to split those duties. And I think he said it before. He has plenty of time down the road to just be a team owner.
Yep.
And he owes it to Joe Gibbs and his team to really focus on being a driver right now.
Really cool. And I'll just say this, and you mentioned Denny Hamlin because it is funny to me. He is the part owner, but everybody knows Michael Jordan. And I think having Michael Jordan involved in this brings, again, other casual fans to it being like, oh, Jordan's owning it. Because I'll admit, watching the excitement from Jordan last Sunday, and seeing him, it's kind of like what we're seeing of the actors going over to England and purchasing soccer teams. And so, I'm wondering if this will be, because this was Joe Gibbs' thing. He was a football coach, but Joe Gibbs obviously huge into NASCAR. And I'm wondering if you'll see more like athletes be like, oh, I see what Jordan's doing. That's pretty cool. Let me take some of my money and invest in a racing team and build it up.
And you have Pitbull who's doing that now. So, yep. So I agree. I think they're finding more interest. I enjoy watching Jordan in there, especially when he picks up Tyler Reddick, like he's just a little kid. It's pretty funny. His massiveness in the pits is pretty crazy.
All right,
there's quite the size difference there between Reddick and Jordan, and what comes along, like you said, Bill, with the additional attention from outside of maybe like that core NASCAR world. When someone like Michael Jordan gets a win and is in the spotlight, it does nothing but help the sport as a whole.
I agree wholeheartedly. Speaking of that, I forgot about that. Austin did look at me last week. When Jordan's on the basketball court around other 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'8" guys, you don't notice. And Austin was watching, and, of course, Jordan's hovering above everybody. He goes, I didn't realize Michael Jordan was that tall.
Yeah, right. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
When you're on the basketball court with other tall guys, it stands out. All right, let's look to Martinsville this coming weekend. It's just 3 of us having to make picks right now. I know we got Preston and Reggie. So real quick, Josh, your take on what we expect in Martinsville, not your pick, but just what you're looking for this week.
Well, I think you got to look at those six guys still in the playoff hunt that need a win to lock themselves into the championship. I don't think anyone wants to rely on a point situation right now. It's too close. Even Christopher Bell, who's sitting in 3rd place overall right now, I don't think they feel confident. So I look for a strong effort out of all 6 of the remaining playoff contenders to try to lock themselves in this weekend and kind of settle it amongst themselves.
Jen, what are you kind of expecting? Then we'll make our picks.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think it's all out. And you have some of the drivers who are in the playoffs who have won there. Byron's won, Larson's won there. I believe Blaney has, Chase Elliott has. So you have a lot of experienced drivers, people who have won, who are trying to get into that championship 4. So I think it's all out. And I don't think Logano's worried about a thing. Obviously, Reddick's not worried about a thing. It's the hard racing is between those 6.
All right, let's make some picks. Jen is red hot. She has picked the winner 2 of the last 3 weeks. She's now actually kind of given herself a very outside chance of winning. She's 1 point behind you, Josh. You are 4 behind Preston at 113, and Reggie is out in front, completely out in front of this. My Denny Hamlin strategy, if you add up the points, has worked tremendously. Jen's picking winners. I'm not really making up ground. Give me Denny Hamlin again.
I can see that.
And Jen?
You know what? He has had a string of bad luck, even though he did have a win a couple weeks ago. I just think Larson's going to find a way to win it, so he guarantees he's in.
If Jen wins, she is in contention to win this whole thing in what would be an incredible comeback. Josh, you've got the next pick.
Well, I think I was kind of on the fence on some Hendrick drivers, so Jen took one of them. I'm going to take William Byron.
William Byron.
He's won there a couple times. So.
All right. William Byron. And I don't think Preston left us a pick, did he?
He did not, but Reggie will take Blaney.
Blaney and we will get Preston's pick tomorrow. Josh, we always appreciate it. I hope you have a great Halloween and look forward to catching up next week for the Cup finale.
All right, everybody go out and get you some nerds.
Yeah, nerds. Okay. Didn't see that one coming. All
Excellent.
right.
Okay.
Right. Josh, have a great day. We'll catch up next week.
All right, thanks.
We will be right back. We'll go over the college football schedule for the upcoming weekend. It's the early game.
The Game Network in Columbia.
107.5 The Game.
In Florence.
100.5 The Game.
In Myrtle Beach.
100.3 The Game.
It's back! The Lawyer Lisa Special Teams Contest. Just go to 1075thegame.com and register. The pot starts at $100. Every week it increases $100 if Carolina doesn't score a special teams touchdown. But if the Gamecocks do score a special teams touchdown, you could win the pool. Again, just go to 1075thegame.com and register. It's the Lawyer Lisa Special Teams Contest from 1075 The Game.
1075 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Take up to $20K off new Silverados.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. Together, let's drive.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Hostetler-Brown. Do you know the difference between a revocable trust and an irrevocable trust? The difference could easily save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in long-term care costs. Visit lawyerlisa.com to schedule a consultation today.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Daddy, you need a trust.
Hey guys, Jay Phillips here for Integrated Media. You know they've been the Midland's leader in home theater for the past 2 decades. From installation of amazing 4K televisions and surround sound systems to Wi-Fi that works everywhere, no one else compares to their customer service and quality. And now the guys at Integrated Media have expanded their brand to provide a state-of-the-art golf simulator experience next to their offices in Chapin. Pro Swing is what it's called. The golf simulators by Golf Zone have automatic tees. You don't have to bend over to set up your next shot. Amazing swing plate moving up to 24 different directions for a truly lifelike experience. The playing surface has simulated greenside and fairway bunkers, even 2 different cuts of rough to bring a real-life experience inside with 68 degrees of air conditioning every day. One golfer can play 18 holes in about an hour, 2 in 2, with selections of non-alcoholic drinks, domestic and craft beer. It's fun for the entire family. To book a tee time or to get golf lesson packages, visit ProSwingColumbia.com or call 803-948-8327. Have a blast with Pro Swing and Integrated Media.
Hey, this is Brian Glenn, owner of Village Idiot Pizza. You know your favorite Columbia pizza shop is franchising? We're excited to welcome franchise operators to our team as we grow throughout the Southeast. Ever thought you'd like to see a Village Idiot in your community? I'm talking to you, Lexington, Irmo, Chapin, Blythewood. Village Idiot Pizza has been bringing people together to community and pizza in Columbia for over 30 years. If you know someone who's ready to join a proven system and be their own boss, join our village. For more info, visit villageidiotpizza.com.
Your home, your family, your moments. First Alert is reminding you to be prepared and install smoke and carbon monoxide alarms on every level and in every bedroom of your home. Don't forget to add First Alert fire extinguishers on every level, plus the kitchen. And know how to use them. Protection is key to help protect life's moments. And First Alert is your partner through it all. Get fire safety you can trust by visiting firstalert.com and Lowe's stores today.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You already know that Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union offers truly free checking and great rates on auto loans, but did you know they do mortgages too? Whether you need a first or second mortgage, a home equity line of credit, or a loan for construction, renovation, a lot, or a manufactured home, Palmetto Citizens has you covered. They're a community financial institution based solely here in the Midlands, so they offer a refreshingly simple mortgage process you won't get from the big banks or online lenders. Along with a great rate, the Palmetto Citizens Mortgage Team will work with you to tailor the loan to best fit your needs and budget. Apply for your mortgage today by visiting palmettocitizens.org or stopping by any of their 14 branches across the Midlands. Palmetto Citizens, proudly serving this community since 1936. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID number 449962. Approval based on credit worthiness. Certain restrictions may apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
Colonial Drive at Hardin, an accident there. Also Highway 6 at I-20. I-77 southbound at Killian Road, also at Percival Road. Mack Street at Main Street. Also Main near College Street. Shop Road near Abbott Road. That's kind of at Idlewild. Broad River Road near I-20, also an accident there. And we do have a large accident, or at least certainly impacting a lot of traffic. Platte Springs Road at John Hardy Expressway, kind of in the middle of the intersection. So both directions are being slowed down due to that earlier tie-up. Police are there trying to help direct traffic. 82 today, 83 tomorrow, 81 for Sunday. Right now, it's 56 on the early game.
Early game
with Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen. From the Midlands to the PD to the beach.
The Game Network.
Rolling along as we get you ready for more football. No more World Series. Dodgers win last night. Gamecocks win in basketball last night, 86-60. We've discussed that. Listen to a little bit of Lamont Paris. Women's soccer team last night took on Mississippi State. It was a makeup of a match from back during when the hurricane hit. Hurricane Helene, I believe, is when that match was supposed to take place. And unfortunately, the women's soccer team went down 2-1 last night to the Mississippi State Bulldogs. They'll start to get ready now for the SEC tournament coming up here in a few weeks. And we'll update you on everything South Carolina related tomorrow, kind of get you ready for the weekend. Was one more other basketball note I did not mention. Preseason SEC teams have been announced or were announced apparently yesterday. South Carolina Colin Murray Boyles landing on the third team. That's the only Gamecock on the entire list. Colin Murray Boyles landing as a third team suggestion there. This according to the Southeastern Conference men's basketball preseason all SEC teams. So it was put out. Tells me that I got the email yesterday, but it tells me that they announced that today. So good job over there. Anyway, 803-404-6100. Jen put on her cape and then took it back off as we are dressed up here in studio.
I'll be coming back in.
I am wearing I am an obnoxious football fan this morning. To cap it off, I'm wearing a Miami Hurricanes jersey, which makes it even more obnoxious. And Rooster P understands that. He says people that wear orange are just looking for attention, have no imagination, and want to make everything about them. There you go. That's exactly right. My favorite, Jen, before you come in here, favorite text of the morning. Absolute favorite text of the morning. This is from Hunter. I've been listening for years, and I must just miss this every week when you guys talk racing. But who in the heck is Reggie?
Oh, how funny. He's our invisible player.
Yeah, it'd be Reggie Anderson. WLTX Sports Goof. You can catch him most nights at 11 o'clock when he's not making Chandler Mack work all the time.
Well, you know, when you've risen up the ranks like that, you can make other people work.
Yeah. Poor Alyssa Lang. Remember, Alyssa Lang worked at WLTX one day, and I had to work for Reggie. And it just goes to show you, no matter who you work with, no matter who your coworkers are, no matter the employment that you have, you too can improve your lifestyle and get better. You cannot be held down. Even Reggie Anderson cannot hold anyone down. Jen has wandered back in. She has got her.
Where's a little bit louder for you? How's that?
Yeah. There you go. Jen's got her music going, her cape.
I don't have my sunglasses on. I'm sorry, but
And you can go right now. You got us. I'm wearing my all orange, looking completely inappropriate. Jen, you can go right now. Go to the Game TV radio. It is loud. It is loud. That is obnoxious. It's obnoxious, and it fits what we're trying to accomplish here on this program.
Don't have a crown. That's right.
Did you bring a crown, or did you just forget it? No, I didn't. That's okay. That's no problem. No problem. Yeah, go to the Game TV radio, and you can see Jennifer Jensen strutting around.
With my prop. It's a golf club, man. Like Preston said, do what we can do.
We have done what we can do here to max out Halloween, except we forgot candy. Oh, what is that? Is that yours or is that Preston's? It's like maybe some lip balm. Okay. All right. We got all kinds of stuff all over the studio. We are not the show to lead off the programs each and every morning. We leave stuff strewn about, headsets, paperwork, everything for Tyler and Jack to have to deal with when they come in. 803-404-6100. Brian Edwards, a Vegas insider, will join us coming up here in just a few minutes. Brian Glenn adds in Matt Berry, ESPN analyst, had to work with Reggie Anderson too. So I hate to do this because it gives Reggie credit, but it sounds like Reggie Anderson's broadcasting tree is quite impressive. The people that have worked for him,
He can turn out the talent.
I hate to give him any credit whatsoever, but it appears I have to. If he has had Matt Berry and Alyssa Lang work underneath him, and then they were able to escape Reggie and move on to bigger and better things with ESPN. How about that?
Apparently, they can learn a lot from him.
They can learn a good bit. They can, yes, apparently. None of it really work-related, how to kind of goof off. But, yes. And happy birthday, Hunter, who weighs in and thanks us for our information. Says he can't wait to cheer on the Gamecocks on Saturday night over at Williams-Brice. Again, we'll get to Brian Edwards, a Vegas insider, here in just a few minutes, and we'll talk about the college football slate that should be a pretty good schedule. Good weekend of college football. Very good weekend. Reminder tonight, little Halloween football. Tulane at Charlotte. So not the best Thursday night slate. Tulane at Charlotte tonight. Also, you got some NFL tonight going on. Reminder, by the way, Carolina Call 6 o'clock with Shane Beamer tonight. You can hear that. And then you can also catch some Houston Texans, New York Jets football. Jets still kind of reeling. Aaron Rodgers probably would be a good time to win a football game here. The Jets have lost 5 in a row. They fired their coach. They've acquired Devontae Adams. And tonight they get C.J. Stroud and the Texans. That one will be in New York at MetLife Stadium there. So home game for the Jets tonight over in New Jersey. But Jets needing to win that one. Losers of 5 straight. They are favored by 2 points. 803-404-6100. We'll come back. Never mind. Jen has wandered out of the studio. She is dancing down the hallway, and therefore we will not be taking a break at this moment, as Jen has either gone to get us candy or is just showing off her costume down the hallway. I have been abandoned by everybody this morning. Preston Thorne went to Chesney to get the kids excited to read, and now Jen Jensen has just completely disappeared on me. So let me give you the college football rundown until Jen comes back, since we will not be hitting a break. Producer disappearing seems to be an issue in this industry. I do not want that to continue to happen. Again, tonight, Tulane and Charlotte. Taking on tomorrow night, Georgia State, Connecticut, South Florida, and Florida Atlantic, and San Diego State, Boise State on Saturday. The big noon game, Fox big noon game, number 4 Ohio State at number 3 Penn State. I've heard a lot about this game and what it means for both Ryan Day and James Franklin. James Franklin being the guy. I don't know if anybody's aware of this. James Franklin has been at Penn State for 10 years. He's been at Penn. I did not know this until that stat popped up. And how do I know that? He is 1-9. 1-9 against Ohio State. He gets them at home there. 12 p.m. game. College Game Day will be up there. I'm sure the Fox show will be up there as well. I didn't look to see where they're at this weekend, but I'm sure both of them will be in Happy Valley. I kind of hate that that's a noon game because it takes away what could have been some of the whiteout. Jen has returned. We will hit a break. We'll come back. Brian Edwards, a Vegas insider, will join us. You're listening to the early game.
From the Midlands to the PD to the beach.
The Game Network.
Powered by Integrated Media, The Game TV.
Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality.
The Game TV.
They do say that perfection is a journey, and our journey to update a bathroom in our house led us to Carolina Stone Craftsman just outside Columbia in Chapin. With that renovation, replaced a cabinet, needed a countertop, and we went to Carolina Stone Craftsman. I'm telling you, we were very impressed to the point where we are about to do this again in the master bath. So we're going to be returning to their fabulous showroom and to check out their commitment to the affordable marble and granite and quartz, how everything is sculpted with the highest craftsmanship, installation, absolutely wonderful. Every step of the process was great, from visiting their showroom and all of the choices we had to make. And once they completed the installation, they cleaned up like they were never there. It was a great experience. And if you're in the market for countertops for your kitchen or bath, I do encourage you to reach out to Carolina Stone Craftsman. And of course, be sure to tell them that Jen Jensen sent you. Family owned and operated Carolina Stone Craftsman, just beyond Columbia in Chapin and beyond your expectations. CarolinaStoneCraftsman.com.
Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This report is sponsored by Palmetto Cards and Collectibles in Lexington. Palmetto Cards and Collectibles in Lexington is your go-to shop for all your trading card needs. Join Palmetto Cards and Collectibles at the South Carolina Card Show, December 13th through 15th at the SC State Fairgrounds. Details at palmettocards.com.
Hey Gamecocks, Ben Cato, third generation owner of Cato's Power Equipment. I want to thank you for helping us grow our rental business in 2024. Our battery-powered Gravely EV exceeded our highest expectations. We never had to perform a repair on it, which means we never had to charge a security deposit or a repair fee. The unit never came back to us with dead batteries, and we never had a customer who wasn't blown away by the quality of the cut. That more got sold, but we're thrilled to have 2 more already up and running in our rental fleet, including a very requested 52-inch Gravely EV stand-on unit. Give us a call today at 803-254-3711 or visit us online at catospowerequipment.com to learn about all the various tools we have available for rent, like aerators, dethatchers, push mowers, and more, and experience the quality and ease of battery-powered mowing from Gravely EV.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevy, where back to cool means award-winning savings. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Voting is not a privilege, it's your right. A person with a disability deserves full access to the voting process. Disability Rights South Carolina encourages you to head to the polls on November 5th. From curbside voting to tabletop placement for wheelchair accessibility and audio ballot via headphones, voting is for everyone. If you have a disability-related voting problem in South Carolina, call 866-275-7273 or visit disabilityrightssc.com/voting.
AAA Heating and Air is on the hunt to find the oldest AC unit in our Midland service area. Do you think it could be yours? If you do, it could pay off. AAA Heating and Air and My Oldest AC contest is kicking off, and you have a chance to win a new HVAC system for your home. Just head over to their website, myoldAir.com, and complete the online entry form. AAA Heating and Air will draw a winner at random for every 100 entries. It really is that easy. Contest is limited time only. Residents in the AAA Heating and Air service area are eligible to enter. See the terms and rules on their website for a full list of contest rules.
Shepherd's Glass has provided commercial, residential, and auto glass installation, repair, and replacement to Columbia for over 50 years. Large retail storefronts, auto, custom shower enclosures, and mirrors for that remodeling or new construction project. Visit shepherdsglass.com to see and learn more. Now with 2 locations on Platte Springs Road in West Columbia and Chapin at 855 Chapin Road. shepherdsglass.com.
Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass. A true reflection of quality.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
Really turned out to be a very busy morning on the highways. Colonial Drive at Hardin Street, also Highway 1 between 378 and Columbia Avenue. An accident there. Highway 6 at I-20. Also I-77 southbound, 2 locations, exit 22 and exit 15. So Killian and Percival both have accidents on I-77 southbound. Main Street near College Street. Shop near Abbott Road. Broad River Road near I-20 and Platte Springs Road at John Hardy Expressway, really slowing things down in that intersection as far as traffic going both directions. So police are on the scene and trying to get you through there as quickly as possible. 82 today, 83 tomorrow, 81 on Saturday. That would be the forecast. It's 57 now.
What you're talking about.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet
On the Game Network.
A reminder coming up on Saturday, South Carolina, Texas A&M, 7:30. You can hear it right here on 107.5 The Game and, of course, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And we will get you started at 2:30 with our pregame right here, 107.5 The Game, getting you ready for South Carolina and Texas A&M. It is the Gamecocks Game Day, sponsored by Lex Med Ortho from the party lot at Sound and Images with Terry Ford and Tyler Head. You can even walk over and visit with them, throw tomatoes at Terry. Tell Tyler how much you like him. Throw tomatoes at Terry. But go visit them. They will be, again, over at the party lot. Sound and Images, Terry Ford and Tyler Head. That'll start at 2:30 on game day as we get you ready for South Carolina and Texas A&M. Joining us now, as he does each and every Thursday. We do move him around in segments a little bit. But Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. And welcome in, Mr. Edwards. It looks like you've got several plays. And we'll start you with Vanderbilt, who just... Is Vanderbilt in the Vegas world? How much respect do you continue to think Vanderbilt does not get?
Oh, I mean, I don't think they're getting it this week. I mean, I made Auburn a 2.5-point favorite. We can get Vandy +7. That's what I like. Diego Pavia is Hugh Freeze's daddy. New Mexico State when Pavia was at New Mexico State, he went to Liberty as a 24.5-point underdog and beat Liberty 49-14 when Freeze was still there 2 years ago. And then last year, Pavia brought in, a team full of mid-level group of 5 talent and beat Auburn 31-10 as a 26-point road underdog. So in 2 head-to-head meetings between Diego Pavia and Hugh Freeze's teams, Pavia's teams have beaten the closing spread by 106.5 combined points. And Vandy's been an underdog 5 times this year. They're 5-0 against the spread with 3 outright wins. Their losses this year by margins of 3, 4, and 3 again, and that was an overtime game at Mizzou. And I also like Vandy +200 or +205 on the money line, but the Vandy +7 is the bigger bet, obviously.
Last week, again, that line did move down going up toward game time, but obviously, I'm just looking back, you had Vandy +19 last week against Texas. They covered that easily in a 3-point loss, 3.4 point, something like that. And then this week, getting 7 against an Auburn team. I don't know if Auburn got right against Kentucky last week. They did run the ball more effectively, but this is another big one for Hugh Freeze and Vanderbilt there plus the 7. Let's stay with the college game for a second here. Also, I'm going to stay with college. You have 3. You say you've got, in your message to me, you've got 3 top picks. Vanderbilt is one of them. The other 2 are in the NFL, but let's stay in college for a minute. Indiana's -7 at Michigan State. That's moved to 8. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I've just been playing. Indiana's just an automatic play for me. I'm going to keep playing them until they lose. They've won all 8 of their games by 14 or more. I got it at 7 early in the week, but I still like it at 8. Curtis Rourke is on track to start, but even without him in the last game and a half, they've been just fine with Taven Jackson, the backup. But, Rourke being healthy is obviously good. 15-3 TD-INT ratio, completing 74.6% of his passes. Indiana's been a single-digit favorite 4 times this year, 4-0 against the spread. They've been on the road twice this year, 2-0 both straight up and against the spread, won by 17 at Northwestern, won 42-13 at UCLA. They're second in the country in scoring, 46.5 points per game. And Sparty has lost 4 of its last 5. They've lost those games by margins of 7, 21, 31, and 4. And they're 1-3 against the spread at home. Give me the Hoosiers.
All right. And, yeah, I think the stat is correct. They are the only team in college football that has not trailed Indiana in any of their games at any point this season.
What about Army? I think Army might
might be there with Indiana on
Okay.
that. I'm not positive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm with you on that. Speaking of Army, let's go to that. You got another one. But speaking of Army, you like the team total in that game as well as, if I'm reading this correctly, the first half line.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not against Army minus 22 for the game either. They're at home to Air Force. So Army leads the nation in rushing yards. Air Force is number 119 out of 134 FBS teams in run defense. And I'm going with Army over 31.5 points. They have scored, these are their scoring outputs this year, 42, 37, 42, 49, 44, and 45, and only one outlier. They had 24 in one game, but they've scored 42 or more in 4 straight. They're 9th in the country in scoring, averaging 40.4 points per game. Their quarterback, Bryson Daly, 909 rushing yards, 19 touchdowns, 6.6 yards per carry average, and he's also got 7 touchdown passes without an interception. Now, in terms of Army, minus 13.5 in the first half. At halftime this year, they have led 24-0 at home to East Carolina, 34-3 at home to UAB, 21-7 at Tulsa, 14-0 at Temple, 28-0 at home to Rice, 14-7 at FAU. So that's the only game they haven't led by at least 14 at halftime, and they led Lehigh 21-7 at home at halftime. Air Force 1-6 straight up, 0-7 against the spread this year. Their only outright win against an FCS opponent. So Army team total over 31.5, minus 13.5 in the first half. If you want to lay 22 for the game, I'm not against that either.
And Florida State, who I've never seen a team fall off like this, they are at home. They're hosting North Carolina, and you like the Tar Heels in that one.
Yeah, I mean, FSU could easily be 0-8 straight up and against the spread. The one game they won, they beat Cal 14-9. Cal out-yarded them 410 to 284 and missed 2 field goals in the 30s. You know, like a 36 and 38-yarder. They're technically 3-5 against the spread, but one of their covers was a 16-point loss at home to Clemson. I'm talking about FSU still. But that line was 14.5 to 15.5 all week, moved to 17 game day. Same thing last week. Miami was 21 all week. It moved to 23 in the hours before kickoff. Miami won by 22. But FSU could easily be 0-8 straight up in ATS. They're horrible. UNC ended a 4-game losing streak off the bye last week. They won 41-14 at Virginia. And their quarterback, Jacoby Criswell, last 3 games, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. They lost a couple of heartbreakers in that span. But they're 4-4 straight up, you know, still playing for a bowl game and all that. So UNC will be motivated. I like them minus 2.5 at FSU.
Real quick, the both in-state games. Just I know you didn't send them to me, so I know you don't have a preference on them. But Clemson minus the 10.5 at home against Louisville, and South Carolina. That line continues to go down. I'm seeing it right now at A&M minus the 2. Just any thoughts, feelings on Clemson being at home minus 10.5, and South Carolina being at home plus 2.
Yeah, I made A&M 3. So, you know, I guess I would technically slightly lean to A&M, but I don't want to mess with South Carolina. Too much respect for their front 4, especially defensively, and front 7. And it's the spot favors South Carolina. So that one's a pass. I would lean Clemson. I'll probably, in my contest where I got to pick 25 specific games, I'll probably pick Clemson, but not going to bet that one.
Gotcha. Real quick, let's get back here. We got about a minute and a half with you. I gave your top play, Vanderbilt and Auburn. 2 of your other top plays are NFL games. The Commanders with Jaden Daniels and the Lions at the Packers. Your thoughts on those?
Yeah, just like the Indiana Hoosiers, I just automatic play on the Commanders. Love it. I got minus 3 early in the week. Still love it at minus 3.5 or 4. Love the Lions, minus 3. If your number's 3.5, I'd buy the half point to 3. You know, I think Jordan Love probably plays, but he's not 100%. Lions are just absolutely rolling right now. Smaller opinion on the Colts, plus 5.5 at Minnesota. Smaller opinion on Texans, plus 2 tonight. Just a small opinion on Texans because they've got wide receiver injuries, but the Jets are a mess. And let me throw out 2 NFL player props, which the numbers, I haven't seen them yet. A.J. Brown and Kyle Pitts have gone over their receiving yards prop 4 weeks in a row. Pitts was 42.5 last week, but I could see him maybe being as high as 50 this week. I would probably take it all the way up to like 52 or 53. AJ was 76.5 last week. He'll probably be low 80s. I'd probably like it all the way to like 83 or 4. So receiving yards prop over on AJ Brown and Pitt.
Brian, we always appreciate it, man. And make sure you check out VegasInsider.com, MajorWager.com. Make it part of your daily reading, and we look forward to catching up with you next week.
Thanks, brother. Have a good week.
Take care. Brian Edwards, again, MajorWager.com and Vegas Insider. I'll come back and give you the rundown on those plays and what he suggested, and we'll wrap up our Halloween edition of the early game.
107.5 The Game.
In Columbia.
100.5 The Game.
In Florence.
100.3 The Game.
In Myrtle Beach. The Game Network.
Hey, this is Terry Ford, 107.5 The Game. We just want to invite you to a real special event coming up at the Dillon Columbia Supply Company. It's their fall open house, November 7th, noon to 2 p.m. It's your chance to meet their incredible team, check out their products and services, and get exclusive event day specials. Whether you're in the industrial, construction, steel, or safety business, they've got the tools and supplies you need. Again, Thursday, November 7th, noon to 2 at Dillon Columbia Supply Company, 320 Orchard Drive, West Columbia.
Bill Gunner for Mid-State Roofing. Let me tell you, if you or your business has had some roofing issues, if you've noticed a few things going wrong, you want to keep your operation dry and running, you need to contact Mid-State Roofing today. Whether you're here in Columbia or Aiken or Augusta or Florence or Myrtle Beach or Charleston, you get the point. Anywhere in this great state that you're listening this morning and you are having some roofing issues, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Mid-State Roofing is ready to help you. Give them a phone call and line up a maintenance contract. 803-356-1919. Again, that's 803-356-1919. From high-rises to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Mid-State Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that'll keep your operation dry and running long into the future. Again, they are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ready to take your phone call. So call today, 803-356-1919.
This is Boomer Esiason with Sports Minute. It's Halloween, folks, and here in New York, nothing scarier outside of Freddie Freeman than the Giants and Jets who have concocted a witch's brew of putrid football that has dropped them into my feeble 5 at numbers 28 and 29. The Titans' defanged attack is offensive. The Saints have melted like the Wicked Witch of the West, and the Panthers' Bryce Young will age all too quickly. I'm Boomer Esiason.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Get your holidays started with the perfect tree in your perfect style from the Home Depot. Whether you want something that you can assemble in a few clicks, steal the show with over 2,000 color-changing bulbs, or a tree with lights that can be controlled by remote or foot pedal. The Home Depot has it all in our huge assortment of premium trees. Plus, get free delivery on over 2 million items this holiday from the Home Depot. Subject to availability. See homedepot.com/delivery for details.
Bill Gunner for the Ecton Law Firm, where if you've experienced an issue with the IRS, if you have received one of their nasty notices, it's time for you to call John Ecton and his team. Time is limited, but you can get a free consultation. Start today by giving them a phone call, 803-771-9800. Much like anything else, if you're here in Columbia, Florence, Myrtle Beach, Aiken, Augusta, Charleston, Greenville, you get the point. Anywhere here in the state, John Ecton and his team has a local team ready to help you with proven solutions. So if you have income or business tax issues, call today. 803-771-9800. Get a free consultation and let John Ecton and his team help navigate the IRS maze and provide you with a peace of mind regarding your taxes that you deserve. 803-771-9800. Call the Ecton Law Firm today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I want to share with you the experience of Donna in Washington. She writes, I got injured about 5 years ago. I was let go when, because of the injury, I couldn't keep up with my schedule. I've tried to find other work, but I'm 68 now. No one wants to hire someone that old. This week is tough, though, because I had to get my tooth fixed. So I only have $10 in my checking account. But it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Millions of people face hunger. Some every day, just like Donna. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
With Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen on The Game Network. 107.5 The Game.
In Columbia.
100.5 The Game.
In Florence.
100.3 The Game.
In Myrtle Beach.
Wrapping it up here this morning. Again, reminder tonight, 6 o'clock, Carolina Calls with Shane Beamer and Todd Ellis. You can hear it right here on 107.5 The Game in Columbia, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. I am told by Brian Glenn, the Godfather, owner of Village Idiot Pizza, might actually be delicious today, that he will be on tonight. Yeah. He says he is the sponsored guest. Todd Ellis will interview him.
Really?
How about that?
Wow.
Yeah, Brian Glenn on Carolina Calls. And just
what doesn't he do? He's been to the White House.
He is living the American dream, making pizza, doing interviews, being a Red Sox fan.
He's a pretty talented guy.
Talented guy. So anyway, tune in tonight right here, 107.5 The Game here in Columbia, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. Carolina Calls, Shane Beamer, and Todd Ellis. As we wrap up our Halloween edition here of the early game, texter weighs in. Tell Jen, I like her costume. Good job. Creativity at its finest.
Thanks. I was a little too lazy to hobble back out to the car to get the sunglasses, but
No, that's true. Yeah, Jen playing through a continued foot injury. We're hoping
2 weeks left in the boot, man.
2 weeks. Yeah, she's probable. She's probable each and every morning. Speaking of which, the injury report out for South Carolina last night. Nothing major, nothing substantial to worry about. DeAndre Jules out as expected. Jared Brown back. And speaking of which, I do think this is a big thing. And Jen, I tell you what, let's play this. This is Dow Loggins, the number 16 clip. This is him talking about the return of Jared Brown. I think the receivers have been coming along. I like them. But here is Dow Loggins yesterday talking about the return of Jared Brown to the wide receiver room.
Yeah, it's a great question. We definitely missed his presence out there. You kind of there's a feel for it as well, and there's he's got to go practice and do those things, and he's transitioning back into practice, and he is looks like he is going to be able to play in this game and transition into that stuff. So you go back to getting him back to feeling comfortable in the things that are asked of him. He has missed a lot of time, and there's a physical toll that happens with that. There's rust that happens with that. There's also a mental toll of making sure you're caught up to speed, because the offense has changed a little bit since you've played, and making sure that we got another weapon that we're using correctly, and then making sure that the volume of work is not just the volume of work he can handle, because all of a sudden if he isn't able to handle it, then you got to make sure that you have plan B and the pieces around him. There's not too much stress passed out on those guys as well.
So he'll be back. We'll talk a lot of football, obviously, tomorrow. Preston Thorne will be back in studio. We'll get back into – there's some stuff here that I wanted to get into today, and with Preston out, we'll save it for tomorrow, including stumble, bum, fumble, forcing technique. That came from Clayton White. We will get Preston Thorne's take on that. Stumble, bum, fumble, forcing technique. I have not heard this clip yet. I will save it for tomorrow when Preston is back, and we will talk about that. But we've had a lot of fun this morning. Jen and Preston and myself, we did that thing where in your 40s you don't go out and buy costumes anymore. We created our own. Jen was, again, the Vanderbilt character, essentially, from SEC shorts, but she had a Carolina shirt on, and she's hoping that on Monday she can swagger back in here and recreate that.
I would love to. I will keep it in the car, so I'm ready.
So that was her costume. Preston, if you're on our live stream, you can see his costume is still kind of here. He put a picture of a 6, drew a 6. A very nice drawing, by the way.
I was going to say, did he ever teach elementary school? Because, that's really good drawing. Or did the wife do that?
It's a good question. But on a sheet of paper, he wrote a 6, stapled it, I don't think he stapled it. He put it on his shirt, on his chest, and he became Thick 6. So he was big guy, Thick 6, did forget the football. But we'll get back into that with him tomorrow. I wore a Miami Hurricane jersey. Now, I have a Miami Hurricane jersey. There was a day that I was a younger gunner myself, was a Miami Hurricane fan. You could go either way. Obnoxious Miami fan, to which Chris says that is a form of flattery. He thanks me for that. Adam also said go Canes. Somebody else said I could have just worn a Georgia jersey, but I decided to become an obnoxious football fan. I have my chain out, an orange, a bright orange Titleist hat on. If you see me strolling around today, you can compliment how big this jersey is. Y'all have a great day. Happy Halloween.
107.5 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Take up to $20K off new Silverados.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. Together, let's drive.
Happy Halloween to everybody. Want to remind you, coming up tonight, 6 p.m., Carolina Calls with Shane Beamer and Todd Ellis. Coming up tomorrow night here on 107.5 The Game, the Love Chevy High School Football Scoreboard Show with Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, and Mr. Ed Bird. And then Saturday, we've got you covered on game day, starting at 2:30 from the party lot at Sound and Images with Terry Ford and Tyler Head. It'll be the Gamecock Game Day, sponsored by Lexington Med Ortho. Again, that'll be at the party lot at Sound and Images. And, of course, I know you won't forget, 7:30 right here on the game, kickoff, the Gamecocks and the Aggies. You can hear that, 107.5 The Game here in Columbia and 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. So we got a lot going on. Again, 6 o'clock tonight, Carolina Calls with Shane Beamer and Todd Ellis right here, 107.5 The Game. Make sure you tune in for that, hear what Coach Beamer has to say. Everybody, have a happy Halloween. We turn it over now to Tyler and Jack.
Sponsored by Budget Blinds of Forest Lake. Enjoy the view, courtesy of your local window covering expert, Robert Myers from Budget Blinds of Forest Lake. Locally owned and operated, Budget Blinds of Forest Lake can provide your windows with exclusive styles to create the look you want at the budget you need. Visit budgetblinds.com for details.
Sponsored by Metz Plumbing.
Plumbing emergency? Metz Plumbing is just a call away. For quick and reliable service, trust our experts. Call 732-DRIP and get it fixed today. Metz Plumbing, your personal plumber.
Metz Plumbing. 732-DRIP.
AAA Heating and Air is on the hunt to find the oldest AC unit in our Midlands service area. Do you think it could be yours? If you do, it could pay off. AAA Heating and Air and My Oldest AC contest is kicking off, and you have a chance to win a new HVAC system for your home. Just head over to their website, myoldAir.com, and complete the online entry form. AAA Heating and Air will draw a winner at random for every 100 entries. It really is that easy. Contest is limited time only. Residents in the AAA Heating and Air service area are eligible to enter. See the terms and rules on their website.